The popcorn you're eating has been pissed in. Film at 11.
No.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome back, all you heathens. It's the Groovinator from RaidersOfLostFlicks.com, and I'm picking up all of this fan noise in the background. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that. Happy Valentine's Day to all you incels that are joining us for this show tonight. To the right of me, I got the boss man himself, Pete Wakuyan from the Place to Be Reviews.
Oh, incels of the world, unite for Valentine's Day. I'm married and I have a kid, but my wife doesn't give a fuck, so she's like, go do your live stream. How you doing, everybody? It's good to be here. Keely Child just shows up in the chat right off
Keely
the bat.
Child, thanks for being the first one to the party, brother.
Well,
you get the first
Child.
pick of all the party favors.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, Groove. Happy Valentine's Day, Alex.
Happy Valentine's to you, too. And also with us as well, back from, what is it, Rocky Horror Picture Show, our boy Alex.
Happy VD Day. I hope you didn't catch anything.
It is definitely VD Day. Yep. I don't know. I maybe I'm just being cynical as hell. I'm not a huge fan of this holiday, obviously. Even when I was dating, it's like the years that I was dating, it's like, oh wow, I really thought that I'd like this day more.
Nope.
Now that I'm dating, it just becomes more work. It's like, fuck, now I got to go buy this and I got to get that and I gotta take her somewhere and not make it look like it's fucking cheesy and
spend like $500 all of a sudden. You're now considered a
when
bad
you take
boyfriend.
people out on Valentine's Day and then the restaurants jack the price of everything because they know they can. Fuck you, restaurants, for doing that, you know. And it's like Abu Nas said. It's like if you love somebody, you shouldn't have to have a special day just to tell them that. You should show them that all the time, all the year.
Yeah, but Hallmark needs their money.
Don't they have Sweetest Day already? So I'm glad that you guys are
Abu Nas
joining us because I had this crazy idea. I always want to do a lesbian vampire episode, so I thought it was appropriate because when I'm thinking of Valentine's Day, I just think of some blood-sucking freak just draining it right out of my jugular. So, hey, why not? Lesbian vampires, booze, blood, babes. Am I right?
Absolutely, man. A lot of boobs.
A lot of boobs. Everything we watched tonight had boobs. And you know me, I'm a big fan of the boobage. You know, don't bore me. But somehow some of these movies still manage to be boring, even with the boobs. It's like, can we just get to the boobs now? It's like, why are we lingering on this shot, you know, or why are we watching this lady literally walk from one end to a castle all the way to the other end of the castle with music playing in the background? I'm like, oh yeah, hippies. I forgot. Oh,
yeah.
Goddamn hippies.
So, as I revealed earlier, I have polls up in the Facebook chat. You guys overwhelmingly said that we liked The Vampire Lovers the best. So either you guys actually saw the movie or you read our thoughts, because we do like that one the best. And we're going to lead off with that. And Alex is the one that recommended this, so thank you so much, Alex, for picking the winner tonight.
Somebody has to bring the quality back here.
Somebody's got to bring the quality back to the show because it sure as hell ain't me, obviously. So, because like, what was I thinking? Lesbian vampires on Valentine's Day. What is wrong with me?
I had two good weeks in a row.
We let you guys pick the stuff and we give Velocipaster.
Oh my God, Velocipaster. We're never going to get over that hump, are we? It's like at some point we're going to see something worse than Velocipaster, right?
I kind of already did this week, but that's a whole nother story. Bruce knows what I'm talking about.
It wasn't this one, was it?
Oh.
Oh God.
Remember what we talked about?
Did you watch Birds of Prey?
No, I decided to go see was Shark Exorcist is really that bad.
Oh God, you watched Shark Exorcist? Oh,
yes, I told you this.
The power of Christ.
Why do you think I was so depressed that Wednesday?
You actually watched that movie? Oh my God.
I was depressed, man. Like I lost all faith in humanity.
Dude, that movie is a special.
I wanted
kind
to call
of bad.
Taika Waititi and apologize to him, but then I still decided to just send him an Instagram saying he fucking sucks. But
in
spirit.
I told you, man. I told you, Alex. We were eating dinner. I went to get pizza. I come home and goddamn Thor Ragnarok's on the TV. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
You can't even watch it now.
No.
Hey, before we get started, though, I want to acknowledge the chat. All right, so Keely Chow says, "Hey, everybody." Well, hello back. Happy Valentine's Day back to you, bud. Save Pete. No, we're not saving. Not yet. Do we have to save Pete yet?
Not yet.
We always save Pete, though. I agree. We should save Pete. I'm so glad that you guys do this show with me because I'm not funny enough to carry it myself. So,
our pleasure.
Flair X, Neen, no boobies for you. No, there's plenty of boobies. I can't complain about a lack of boobies in any of these films.
He's speaking German. That's nine.
Nine.
That's no in German.
Oh, I know. I actually am part German. I don't know any German. I would love to, so some of this music I listen to would actually make sense.
Gas.
Yeah, all this German industrial I listen to, and half of it I can't even understand. I just assume that they're talking about something badass. Kid Chat says, in my Jerry the King Lawler voice, this is probably something Pete would have to do because I don't know my wrestlers.
If I could do it right, he's one of the announcers, and that was one of his signs is, I can't do it because my kid's room is right next to mine, and he just went to bed. I don't want to wake him up, but he would always yell, "Let's see the puppies!" Yep.
Oh, Birds of Prey is better than an episode of Batwoman.
I don't know, Pete. You're not a lover of Margot Robbie, but you love.
I don't know. The verdict's out on that one still. Keely Chow, I like Lesbian Vampires. I do too. I've seen probably more lesbian vampire movies than anybody else in this chat right now. So I'm just throwing it out there.
So proud of you, Groove.
What?
Glad would be so proud of you.
He's getting that representation points, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just
vampires.
It was like a shtick that they did, especially in the early 70s. It's like rent a castle or just borrow a castle. Get some groupies, get high and start filming. We'll just kind of tinker the script together later. Leo Red, best of the Thor movies.
Oh, he's talking about Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to get that fight started. We don't have enough time in the day to get that one going.
Him and Alex be going back and forth for days.
Max Schnell. All right. Schnell. So back to the Vampire Lovers. This is a Hammer horror series. I'm going to let Alex set this up, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I grew up on Hammer horror movies. Here's my Hammer horror collection right here. It probably would help if I zoomed in on the camera a little bit. There you go. When you see these in the store, I love these collections. I don't even think I've seen any of these movies. I just like having the collection. So I'm going to let Alex take this away because this was his pick, and this was definitely our favorite. So, Alex, explain to us The Vampire Lovers.
All right. The Vampire Lovers is a movie from 1970, a British Gothic horror film directed by Roy Ward Baker and starring Ingrid Pitt and Peter Cushing. Stop giggling, Adam.
Cushing.
Funny thing about this movie, this is one of those rare movies that they used to do a lot back in the day. Not rare, but they used to do it a lot. Where it would say guest starring for some reason, as if it was a TV show. So I just took note that it said guest starring Dawn Adams. I thought that was hilarious, but still, it is an adaptation of the J. Sheridan Le Fanu novel Carmilla, which is about a lesbian vampire. Actually, one of the more famous vampires outside of Dracula.
I thought this felt like it was based on a book because it has way more structure than everything else that we watched tonight.
I think more people probably recognize her now more from like the Castlevania series where she's Dracula's niece. But
true, it's more of an acceptable thing than it was then. So,
which kind of does bring us to this movie, which is there's a whole lot of adaptations of Camilla. Whole lot of them. I know there's the YouTube web series that's popular. A lot of them are kind of weird because they try to turn it into a lesbian love story, and Carmilla's not a lesbian love story. She's a lesbian. Women do not want to hook up with her. But apparently it's homophobic for these girls to say, no, I don't want this lesbian vampire to try to kill me. I don't know. That's the world we live in now. So anyway, to this movie, this is probably the most famous adaptation of Carmilla. It begins with a baron named Hartog, who is a vampire hunter. He is trying to avenge his sister who has been killed by vampires. He's in this town. He finds the vampire. You don't really know much about the vampire at first. It's actually not Carmilla. At least not if you just see some random vampire and you find out it's his sister. He kills her. It's actually kind of a funny scene because she kind of presses her boobs. Well, the movie starts off with the boobs right ahead. No nipples, but you get
it lets you know, like, this is a raunchy movie.
Yeah.
This is not your dad's Hammer horror film. Yeah.
So that's the prologue, and you think at first that's not going to make any sense. It doesn't matter to the movie. It will later on. We start off in old Victorian, kind of a picture Cinderella Victorian ball thing, where the general, played by Peter Cushing, stop laughing, or I'm going to start calling him Tarkin. Peter Cushing.
You know what? More on that later. Hold that thought.
He is throwing a ball for his daughter, Laura, who is supposed to be getting married, in which all of a sudden a random lady shows up with her daughter named Camilla. Now, actually, no. At the beginning, she's known as let's see. What did Mycella? She has like a bunch of different names. She is Carmela, but she won't go by that till later. So we'll just call her Carmela just to get it over with. She's in there, and every guy is checking her out because if you've seen Ingrid Pitt, she's hot, bro. She's like really ridiculous.
I'm gonna zoom in on her in a second here.
Get a photo of her up, like she is hot.
I have to be careful of movies from this scene because, as Alex said, they don't shy away from much.
No, Ingrid is not ashamed to show her boobs or
everything.
Her ass
yeah,
or
this is a gorgeous woman too. When I show her,
yeah. So anyway, Carmela's mother. You can't see me, but I'm doing quotations around mother because that's never really explained.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, she has to leave her. Let me not get distracted.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What?
I was just looking at the pictures.
Boy, howdy.
Carmela's mother has to leave. So she asked the general to watch over her daughter, Camilla. So Camilla stays over. And next thing you know, she's kind of seducing Laura, who Laura doesn't quite know. You got to remember, this is back in the old days. Lesbian is not considered a cool thing at this point.
Nope. And at no point do they ever say the word lesbian in any of the movies we watched tonight. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
She starts having these weird dreams of kind of like a wolf attacking her, and she wakes up. She's not quite sure what's going on, but Carmela tells her, it's okay. It's okay. I'll take care of you. And then just kind of starts kissing her neck and stuff, bites her in the boobie. You know, what you do when you're a lesbian vampire, you know. First thing you would do. I mean, what's the first thing you would do, Pete, if you was a lesbian vampire?
I'd start going after Ruby Rose.
I might be a lesbian vampire for all I know.
Why you got to bring it back to Ruby Rose?
I have a thing for short-haired lesbians.
He's got a hang-up, man. He just
got Ingrid right between her at you.
Between her and the short-haired lesbian that's on Deputy, I'm pretty well I'm done.
Bro, that is Ingrid Pitt.
Oh, Alex, speaking of Ingrid Pitt, this picture up here on the right, ScarJo, anyone?
Oh.
Tell me she doesn't look like ScarJo. Like she could be ScarJo's mom.
She does.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, I was thinking that the whole time I was watching. I'm like, she reminds me of Scarlett Johansson.
Of course, that means we know what you were thinking of.
No, I was thinking Ingrid Pitt. And I'm like, this is a beautiful woman here. Actually, she was. I was trying to remember what I remembered her from, and she was in The Wicker Man.
You was trying to do a casting couch for Scarlett Johansson, weren't you?
No, Ingrid Pitt. Now that you think about it, it's my fantasy. How about both of them?
Yeah,
why the hell not, right?
It's your fantasy. Anyway, there's a scene where the general gets a doctor to look at Laura. And this part I kind of thought was hilarious because the first thing the doctor does, now her boyfriend is there. And the first thing the doctor does is just kind of rips open her shirt, her tits just hanging out. I was just like, don't anyone want to send the boyfriend away? They're just like, okay, it's cool. It's cool. You know, that's how we roll. I mean, you know, people get killed for this stuff, but okay. They look through it. They're trying to figure out what's going on. She's losing a lot of blood, and eventually she dies. Now I have to cut back for a second here because there was something I forgot to mention at the Victorian party that kind of comes up. Camilla is there with this weird guy who dresses in all black and red. He's never.
Are we talking about Count Capula?
Yeah, whatever.
That's what I called him, was Count Capula.
You never find out who this guy. He's only there to talk to Camilla's mom for one scene, and then just every time Camilla's doing something evil, you just see him out in the background just kind of smiling like a perv and laughing. You don't know who he is. Is he Camilla's assistant? Is he the vampire that made her?
No, they never explain who the hell that guy is. Let me see if I can find a picture of him
there.
Here. He's even in this.
Yeah, he's
just showing.
No, it ain't Jack Ryan.
I was gonna say it's not.
Sorry about the Jack Ryan. It's not my fault. I don't know what else to share. Like, this is the only thing I know where I'm not going to get banned if I show something.
Okay, I'll just keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. I'll see if I can find something.
Dies. So Laura dies, and Carmilla runs away from the house because she knows, oh crap, Tarkin knows what I did. He's going to come get me. Let's just call him Tarkin because otherwise Adam's going to keep laughing. So now Carmilla and her mom stage a carriage accident so that someone else named Mr. Morton will find her. And it turns out, what do you know? Mr. Morton also has a hot daughter named Emma. So they decide to take Carmilla in because, remember, this is old Victorian England. Actually, I think this is like Germany. I don't know. But this is those
France.
old... Yeah, like...
Yeah, it's France.
No one's afraid of their daughter being molested by another woman. So they're like, yeah, we'll take you in, despite the fact you look like Ingrid Pitt. But, you know, that's just how we roll. They take her in. The cycle begins again. Now, Emma also has some nice boobs. Starts having the same dreams again. But the wolf coming, the same thing Laura did. They come in. Camilla comes in. This time, Camilla's a little bit more bold. She kind of starts taking her clothes off and stuff and starts making out with her. But then she wakes up and thinks, oh, it's just a dream. Camilla gives no fucks right now. At this point, she is bathing nude in front of this girl. She is...
Can we talk about that scene, man? I just, you know what? Just hold that thought. I need to go find my phone. It's not here in my room, so I wrote down all my notes for this. I probably got more notes for this than I do any of the other movies, but yeah, keep going. I'll be right back, dude.
You would take notes on this.
I took notes. I did. I didn't say I took good notes. I just took notes.
Yeah, she starts bathing nude in front of Emma. Does not care. Look, they're all about free to titty here, okay? Hashtag free to titty. Make that happen, people. She's chasing her around. She convinces Emma, why don't you try my clothes on? Now, come on now. You can't use that bra. You can't take that bra off, girl. Free to titty. Hashtag free to titty. She does free to titty. And next thing you know, Carmilla, who has gotten out of the thing, and she's got a towel on, but she's kind of acting like a dude. She puts the towel around her waist as opposed to her chest like most women do. So you got a lot of titties right now. Whole lot of titty. And she starts chasing her around, and it's pretty much every little schoolgirl fantasy you think of with the pillow fight. And
we're still on that scene? Yes. I applaud that film's this scene.
Beautiful cinematography, man. Beautiful.
You know, it's like it's so forced. It's like playing in there just for like the drive-in crowd. God damn, I appreciate it. You know, it's just like, wow.
Oh yeah.
It almost is not a place like with this story, but I don't care.
Okay, now the plot twist comes in as you find out Carl, who is the name of Laura's boyfriend. Laura is the first girl who was killed. It turns out Carl is also good friends with Emma. And, now that his first girlfriend is dead, player gotta play. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So now he's trying to holler at Emma. Carmilla doesn't know this yet because if Carl gets in that house, it finds out, oh crap, that's the same girl. That's a whole other thing. So now they have a thing back in those days called a governess who kind of takes care of the child while the adult goes away. Mr. Morton.
Yeah, that was the 1600s version of a blue check mark.
Yeah. She starts getting seduced by Carmilla. So now she's kind of helping Carmilla out with torturing this girl that she's supposed to look after because, she really hates that paycheck, as all blue check marks do. But there is an unsung hero in this story right now, and it is the goddamn butler. Okay?
Yeah,
the butler. The butler is kind of cool. He's starting to realize, he's like, look, nobody's saying anything. This girl's losing a lot of blood. Maybe we should call a doctor. I mean, just saying, let's call a doctor. The headmistress is like, not headmistress, the governess. She has a weird name. What? Peridot. I'm going to try to say that. Peridot is like, nah, you don't need to call a doctor. Like, homegirl, she's like white. She's like so white right now, okay? Like, she's so white, she could like live in Mississippi and not be persecuted.
What? Complete white before Hot Topic was even conceived.
Oh yeah, like so white, like so white, so white that Kanye wants to hang out with it. But anyway,
so white that Margot Robbie wants to talk to her agent.
Right. So the butler he goes to a bar. He's chilling. He's trying to have a drink. You know, he makes a joke of like, look, man, this girl is so white right now. It looks like a vampire bit her. And the town is like, what? What? I was just joking. And they're basically like, motherfucker, vampires are real. They've been attacking their villagers all week. And the butler kind of puts two and two together. Look, most people have said that sounds strange. But right now, this butler is like, look, I'm just trying not to mess up this paycheck, so I need to keep this girl alive. So let's get some garlic flowers. He gets the garlic flowers, puts them in the room. But now the Peridot decides, no, take the garlic flowers out. Take the garlic flowers out. No, it's bad. And take that. And the butler's like, ew, screw you, bitch. They're just flowers. But they stink. I don't care if you think they stink. We need to put them on there right now.
And this scene goes on for an eternity. It's like, take the flowers out. Put the flowers back. Take the flowers out. Put the flowers back. Put the candle back. Now listen to me very carefully. I was like laughing. I'm like, we're still doing this, huh? Like, this has been going on for like 20, 30 minutes. These people be out of their damn mind by now. It's like, bitch, I ain't getting paid enough for this. Either you want the flowers in here or not. I don't care anymore.
Everybody's just trying not to lose their job except for Peridot. Peridot don't care about that paycheck. She's a blue check mark.
Except that badass guy that we were talking about, the butler. Yeah, the badass butler obviously doesn't care. Like he knows that something is afoot.
The butler eventually just decides, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go call a doctor. Just screw it. I'm gonna go behind their back and just call the doctor anyway because that's what Mr. Morton would want. So he calls a doctor. Now, plot twist. The doctor he ends up calling ends up being the exact same doctor who Tarkin called for his daughter. So now you have two people involved in the story that if they show up to this house and they see Carmilla, they're going to know who she is. The doctor shows up. Fortunately, Carmilla actually kind of hides because all the garlic flowers is kind of messing her up, so she can't leave her room. So she's kind of lucky at the moment. The doctor shows up. Keep the garlic flowers on there because he's starting to get suspicious, and even puts his own cross around Emma's neck. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. A couple of people said that on Twitter. It was hilarious.
What was that?
And that chuckling crotch in the bottom?
No.
That was Pete.
I'm here.
Your conversations are being played on the air, brother.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just figured I'd let you know.
Yo, at least it wasn't poured.
I thought I muted my mic.
No, porn would be appropriate right now for this particular review. Be real nice right now. So, okay, she convinces the butler to show up. He convinces the doctor. He puts a cross around her neck and he's like, okay, look, I'm going to come back tomorrow and we're going to take care of this, all right? He thinks he knows what's going on. Now, the butler, who has kind of been so cool at this point, you got to remember, he's got a dick and it's Valentine's Day. So Carmilla decides that, maybe I should try to experiment with heterosexuality and just sleep with this one dude. Just one time, I mean, can a dick really hurt? She don't know, but she gonna learn. She seduces the butler.
After all, it's Valentine's Day, am I right?
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. And also, this butler is now a hero, as he might be the first straight guy to kind of get a lesbian woman to experiment with men. National hero, man. Give that man some credit. I wish I wrote his name down. I did not. I just wrote him as the butler.
Yeah, I stopped trying to follow names after like the first opening credits. Like I had a couple written down, and then I started getting invested into the story, and I started checking out from the notes. That's when when you're not like looking at other things, like some of these other movies, I was like checking out and staring at other things and checking my Facebook and all this guy. I'm like, yeah, this is rough.
Mm-hmm. So now what happens is now, because the butler has now been hypnotized by Carmilla, he goes in it, takes out all the garlic roses, takes rid of the cross, gets rid of all of it, so Camilla can come in there and kind of seduce her again. However, she is also now pissed off at the doctor because she recognizes that yes, the doctor can expose her if he sees her. Mind you, he hasn't actually really seen her yet, but still, she goes off into the woods and kills the doctor. So now at this point, Mr. Morton, the father, has returned home. He's wondering, what the fuck is going on? I left for like a few days and you people just all lost your minds. So he realizes, okay, daughter's sick, whatever. He goes out and decides to go look for the doctor. No one sees the doctor. He's dead. They don't know he's dead. While he's out, Mr. Morton just happens to run into Grand Moff Tarkin, who turns out Grand Moff Tarkin has found the body of the dead doctor, but in his carriage, he has actually went and got the Baron Hartog, who I mentioned at the beginning of the movie, the vampire hunter. The vampire hunter brings them all. The three of them have now become the three amigos, the three musketeers. They're going to go up to this castle, and they're going to at this point, they've all been hunting the same vampire. They do not realize it's the same one yet because she has gone by different names each time. It's only when they look at their Carmilla's castle and they see a photo of her, and they're like, wait a minute, I know her. That's Marcella. No, that's Mycella. No, that's Carmilla. And I was like, oh, shit, son. We all hunting the same vampire. And Morton's like, wait a minute. My daughter's still alive. Carl, get down there and go save her. Because they have to go find they have to come kill the other vampires first. So they can't leave just yet. So the butler has now, Carmilla decides, look, she'll rock his world one more time, but she's got business to do now. So she kills him. But not before giving him one last piece of that punani, just let him know what he's missing out on, And she's also realized, oh crap, I'm about to get in trouble. She's just going to take Emma and just run off to her castle. Because it is a vampire movie. In the old days, you have to run off to a castle.
Yeah.
And Peridot's like, wait a minute, take me. And Carmilla's like, okay, you're going to snitch on me, so I need to kill you too. So she kills Peridot. Before she can leave, Carl has now busted into the place. And he's trying to have a fight with Carmilla. And
at this point, she's like the head of the worst house party ever.
Right?
It just all goes south. It's like, but she's got it under control. Like she's calculating as hell,
And Carl does the most gangster thing I've seen in a vampire movie in quite a while. He doesn't know how to fight Carmilla, so he takes his little dagger, flips it upside down, and it's enough of a cross that it hurts her. In which case, he does try to throw it at her and tries to kill her, but she teleports because that's the power she has now. Meanwhile, throughout this entire thing I've been talking about, you still see creepy guy in the black suit just laughing. He doesn't really show up in the movie anymore. He's just there and he's laughing. I'm
still trying to find a picture of Count Capula.
Yeah, he's basically
that's what I call him. I don't know what his real name is.
Yeah, he's Mystery Science Theater 3000, except he's not really making jokes.
He really is.
He's just there and he's laughing. So now Carmilla goes back to the castle. She does not realize everyone's there waiting for her. Tarkin is there. Because daytime's coming, she gets inside her casket. They do find her casket, and basically the vampire hunter's about to kill her till Tarkin's like, hold up, no, son, no. She killed my daughter. I got this. Takes the little stick, he looks down, and you just tell. You can hear it. Even though he doesn't say it, in your mind, you heard the words. You may fire when ready. And boom! Stakes her right through the chest.
I see what you did there.
Right? See? I brought it all around, stakes her in the chest, and it kind of kills her. Tarkin, though, he's a smart man. I mean, look, you don't run the Empire without being a smart man. He's like, no, I'm not taking a chance. Give me that sword. I'm going to cut her head off, too, just to be sure. I don't want no sequels of this, okay? I don't, unless it's Christopher Lee's Dracula, I don't show up in sequels.
Right.
So he lifts her, cuts her head off, kills her. It's kind of gory. It's a very gory movie, too. I haven't really bought it. Yeah, that's the guy.
There he is. Now, I don't know this guy's name. This is just, every time you see him, he's just doing one of these goofy smiles. And one of the things I love about the 70s is they always do that shit where they zoom in and then zoom out real fast. So it's like you see him and it's like he's laughing and then they zoom out real fast. That's like a 70s thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they do that. That was just like a thing to. But yeah, I call him Count Capula.
So yeah, they kill.
I don't know his real name.
They kill Carmilla after they put her in her grave, which they find out she was at least 300 years old. They find that out at the very least she was 300. They kill her, and you see the picture of her. That's the picture of her turns into this thing skeleton, even though it's thrown in a little Dorian Gray for you. It's messed with your head like that. And then the movie goes off, and you realize Carl's not that depressed about losing Laurel because now he got Emma, he got the best friend, and look, he's just gonna slide right up in there, son. So it kind of worked out for everybody in the end, except for Carmilla. And you never do find out what happened to the mother. You don't know if the mother was a vampire. Was it really her mother? Was she I think they revealed, I don't even think she was. I think she was human. They talk about the 4 vampire sisters ever like that, and they kill all of them. Camilla's the only one they didn't kill until the end. So you don't really know what happened to Mother and the creepy guy. It's just and
you get your classic ending with Peter Cushing jamming a stake into somebody's chest with the blood spraying up all over him. So
Tarkin was like, "Look, I'm giving her some wood, one way or another. She's getting this wood.
One way or another. She's getting wood. Yep.
I'm piercing her hard."
But now, they don't just pierce their heart, Alex.
The creepy guy is a vampire. As for Carmilla's mother, you never really find out if she's a vampire. I don't think she is. I think she's just simply a servant. But it's never revealed, and that is the end of the movie. I enjoyed it.
You forgot to mention the beheading.
I brought up the beheading.
You did, didn't you? Okay.
When Carmilla got beheaded, yeah. I brought it all up.
Maybe I was in the middle of my search. I apologize.
I was too busy thinking back to that bath scene again.
Well, it was a wonderful scene. It really was. But
Pete's usually the pervert here, not you.
Well, I'm sorry, Flare X. We're trying the best we can here. So it is, Valentine's Day after all. So.
Oh, he was making a vampire.
He was making a joke.
He's making a vampire joke.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about the show. I'm like,
Flare.
Of course it sucks. It's about vampires.
Man, Flare, you about to hurt Adam's feelings, man.
All right, so look, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to follow all of that up. So thank you, Alex, for being a hero here and making me look like a shithead. So these are my notes, and I was trying to find a picture of the castle because that's one of my favorite Hammer horror movie tropes. Is they always open up on the castle that looks like it belongs in a snow globe that should belong to Tim Burton. That's always the little model castle that they close. It's always up on a big ass hill with no driveway, out there in the middle of nowhere.
How did they build that thing up there?
You're always thinking, who the hell designs this? It's unless you want Darth Vader to live in there.
But the architect.
But yeah, I like this. Always love Hammer horror movies. Here set up the Fearsome Karnsteins. Sounds like a punk band. Flash to castle that looks like it belongs to Snow Globe from the Tim Burton connection. But yeah, I would totally be in a punk band called the Fearsome Karnsteins because that's the name of these people. The vampires that you mentioned. Then directly to Off with the Head. And last time I saw Off with the Head scene was Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I love that movie. I do. It's got massive problems, but I like it. I like Gary Oldman's performance as Dracula. But I want to get to this part right here. You see this picture that I'm zoomed in on the right? The guy on the left played the young Ebenezer Scrooge in the Alistair Sim A Christmas Carol. So you've got young Scrooge and you've got feudal Grand Moff Tarkin on the right. So I wrote down, this is the kind of stupid notes I take, guys, so I apologize. I have a weird mind, okay? You know how Bandai makes those feudal Star Wars figures? They always have the samurai stormtroopers and samurai looking Darth Vader and all that. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So Tarkin on the right here, this would be if you had 15th century Grand Moff Tarkin, he would look like this.
Yep.
So that's why I called him Tarkin through the rest of it, because I couldn't remember he was General blah 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 blah. What the fuck was his name again?
It's General Speakor. It started with an S. I know that.
Spielkor, Spelunk, or
General Spelunk here.
Sparkle Cuddy, something like that. Yeah. So, and then I came with Count Capula. So I kind of already revealed that. Every time she has those dreams, she always sees a cat, which I always thought, was that a metaphor for pussy?
Yeah, because when you look at it, it clearly looks like a wolf. I was like, why do they keep saying cat? It looks like a wolf.
What in the holy hell do cats have to do with vampires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pussy
So
is
I'm just
cute.
assuming that was a metaphor, but like whenever you see the cat dream, the cat screams. It's so they have like the cat dream. They always scream, and the screams are really good in this too. Like all the girls
Oh,
are
yeah.
definitely like, in addition to being absolutely gorgeous, they're also good screamers as well. So points up
Pretty
for
much
that as well.
every main female, you will see her topless at some point. Actually,
It
no,
does.
not
It does
Paradise.
drag. Yeah, it does start to drag a little bit, but then we get to the famous trying on the dress scene, and that scene goes on forever, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. The movie knows I'm a complete fucking old pervert and doesn't care to exploit that. So good on you, movie, for that. And then this was the last note that I wrote down was most of the second act, like the middle to third act, is remove the garlic, remove the cross, remove the garlic, remove the cross. I'm like, we're still at it, aren't we? And it's good
It's a
tension,
struggle,
but
bro.
it's like, I don't know. I think they could have trimmed a little bit of that off, just a little bit. But I do like that this is classic Hammer horror, and I feel like the actors that are in these types of movies, they're like on one step below doing Shakespeare and not quite soap opera. So what do? They do a Hammer horror movie. Low budget horror where they get to at least wear period costumes so they can at least somewhat feel dignified without having to do TV soap operas. So, but yeah, this is one of the better ones because not a lot of the Hammer horror movies that we talk about. There's no nudity. There's always a lot of boob, like a lot of cleavage, but not like just straight up nudity like this one. So,
And it's probably easily the most famous adaptation of Camilla I think most people know of. There's tons
yes. This girl that plays the girl that plays Carmela is awesome. And Ingrid Pitt. Yeah, I still say she looks like Scarlett Johansson, but that's just me. And I don't know if that's a real accent or if she's faking it, but I don't care. I like it.
I feel like more. What's her name? Dr. Quinn Medicine one. What's it? Michelle Seymour?
Jane
Seymour.
Seymour.
Thank you. Why did I
Now-
forget that? Like, she's in my favorite Bond movie.
This girl on the right here, when she speaks, she's an idiot. She is a really bad actress. She's just good to look at. That's it. She's just a very pretty lady. That's all I can say about her performance.
Which, like I said, if you listen to what I said earlier, they do not end up together. A lot of Carmilla adaptations after this movie decided, well, they should end up as a couple together.
Yep.
This one, in the original book, they're not a couple. She is a monster. She's trying to kill her and take her. Like, they have to stop her. Carmilla is not a romantic novel. I don't care what anyone tells you. It is not romantic. Much like Dracula is not romantic.
And I like the fact that she has baggage, but she never at any point feels the need to reveal what she is or what her agenda is. Like they just kind of hint at everything, and that kind of adds to her mystery a bit. So I like that.
She's a dirty perv.
I'm a dirty perv for sure. I'm not afraid to admit it, but I think it's only fair, Alex, since you put that much work into this, that you get to put the first score on this movie.
This movie, I will give it a 4 out of 5. I actually enjoyed it. It's fun. I didn't quite have the pacing problems that Adam had with it, but there are some scenes. Like I said, the fact that I can't remember anyone's name probably isn't that good other than Carmilla's. I remember a few names I wrote down, but still.
I think part of the problem is movies like these period pieces, like these period vampire movies. You get so focused on the costumes that it's hard to tell the difference between all of the white people on the screen. So they kind of, how we said the movie from last week, all these white people kind of start to look alike after a while.
They all look the same, those white people.
Damn white
The only
people.
reason I'm not giving it a 5, the only thing that's keeping it from a 5 is I kind of wish I knew what the deal was with the creepy guy and the woman in the creepy guy in the black and the woman. Like, I don't need the full backstory. I just want to know, like, are they her henchmen? Did they make her? I just kind of wish I knew something. If it wasn't for that, it'd get a 5. But as it stands, 4 out of 5.
I think that's fair. I'll go ahead and go next. I don't want to be what he said, but what he said. This is definitely a 4 out of 5. And the only problem I had with the movie was there was some
Garlic.
Felt like there was some padding going on in the middle act there, where they could have just like got to the point. Like, this movie knows what it wants to do. and I kind of wish they would have done it a little bit sooner, like they did. Like they committed to it, you know. But I did like the performances. I started getting into the story, which I wasn't expecting to get into the story, and then I actually did. I'm like, oh, I kind of like where this is going. Like, you know, I've seen so many vampire movies. It's kind of like Westerns where it's like there's only so many outcomes that you could possibly arrive at. But at the same time, I did not predict how it was going to end, so I appreciate that about this. But yeah, other than some minor pacing issues and some kind of strange cat dream references that I didn't really understand. Count Capula was cool. I don't know what the fucking point of him even being in the movie was. Maybe they thought just having an all female led vampire mess, man. Like there had to be a leash holder somewhere just because of the times. I'm not really sure, but yeah,
Equal
I just
opportunity. You gotta have some male vampires too, man. Can't be.
He shall be known as Count Capula wherever you are, because he looked really cool in that cape, but he did not have a single line in the movie. So whatever. Did you get a chance to watch this one, Pete?
Unfortunately, I did not. This is one of the ones I wanted to watch too because it had Peter Cushing in it, and I'm a huge
no Peter Cushing. See, I have to understand when he's doing softcore porn, he's Peter Cushing, not Peter Cushing.
He can't use
Let
mine.
It go, Adam. Let it go.
Mine's Peter's Dragon.
Peter Tingle.
Peter Tingle. I got a Peter Tingle from the Peter's Dragon. I wrote a book called Tracks in the Sand.
I need an adult.
Yeah, so that's our score. Pete didn't get a chance to watch this one because it's just been
Pete would have loved this one.
Kind of a crazy week, but hey, you know, boobs, guys, check out.
I'd buy that for $1.
Even Ingrid Pitt can't win the heart that belongs to Ruby Rose. Is that right, Pete?
That's correct. I don't know. Like I said, Alicia Vikander is closing in on that. Very close though, and she's not a lesbian. All I have to do is take her from Michael Fassbender, which shouldn't be too hard. Magneto is past his prime.
You dating Michael Fassbender?
I'm married to him.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Did my homework today for my video.
You did.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who's next?
The next victim on our list is the Shiva of the Vampires. Now, this one, let me get the share going here. So, now the reason that I picked this one is I wanted to do a Gene Rollin movie because I was showing these guys a list earlier this week. We actually started picking some different movies, and I thought, oh shit, it's Valentine's Day, guys. We're doing a show on Valentine's Day. Let's have some kind of a Valentine theme. So I'm like, hey, let's do that vampire lesbian thing that I was talking about. Let's just kind of work that into Valentine's Day. So that's what we did. This was the only Gene Rollin movie that we could all watch together because it was the only one on Tubi. Jean Rollin, if I'm saying it properly. His shtick was always vampire movies before Anne Rice was making it cool. And usually the way he did it was go find a castle somewhere in France, hire some groupies that are kind of hot, and have them take all their clothes off and run around the castle and fashion the script together. It's a lot of style over substance, especially this one because this is, see if I'm saying this right, Les Frissons des Vampires. Looks like a Led Zeppelin album cover. And that's because the movie that we watched was a hippie vampire movie set in the 70s. 100% hippie vampires through the entire thing. Let me pull up some other pictures here. These two assholes right here. Gorgeous women. They're like, I don't know, mischievous? Annoying? There's a lot of scenes where they're just kind of walking through the castle and not wearing much of anything, which I'm not complaining about that, but do you have to show the entire trip from one side of the castle to the other side of the castle? Like, this is one of those ones, if you're watching on Tubi and you can watch it on a higher speed, highly recommend doing it that way and then slow it down on the scenes that you like. There she is right there. Definitely a good-looking lady.
Giggity.
It's definitely giggity worthy. Yeah, see here, these very obvious 60s outfits here. But yeah, Jean Rollin really liked to use... You can't, like, praise the movie for the sets because he didn't build this shit. He just filmed it in there. So I would say probably about 90% of this movie takes place in the graveyard. Let me pull up my notes here. The music rules, okay? It's almost like somebody is doing a really bad Black Sabbath impression. So there's a bride and groom that the bride wants to visit her cousins before they go on their honeymoon, and it's strange because they're in the car and she's still wearing her wedding dress and he's still wearing his tuxedo, and they just go straight to this castle where her cousins live. Now, if you married somebody and they wanted to go visit cousins in a castle, that's the first sign right there that maybe I married the wrong person.
Yeah.
Also, maybe you should have known a little bit more about that person before you fucking married her. I'm just saying. So she gets to this castle, and those two ladies that I just showed you earlier that are running around, they're the servants. They said, well, your cousins are dead. So she's upset. So she tells her husband, I want to be alone tonight. I don't want to sleep with you because I'm upset about my cousins. Red flag right there. Like, you just got married and you can't have your wedding night. I thought that was the whole point of getting married. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but big red flag right there. But yet we still get to watch her take her clothes off anyway, even though he's sleeping alone tonight. The guy in this movie is a complete idiot, for marrying this lady, 2, for allowing this to go on as long as it does. At some point, he does actually try to escape the castle, but they reveal that the 2 idiots that we showed earlier somehow disabled the vehicle, so that happened. The rest of the movie is a lot of nonsense, because it was all in... I've seen this with subtitles, and I've seen this with dubbing. Doesn't matter. There's a lot of backstory that's not really addressed and not really necessary. It's almost like exposition the movie. So that's why I say style over substance. But what I do like about it is it's got like that gothic horror thing going on. And there's a really cool scene involving a lady with pointy nipple covers that impales another vampire with her nipples. That was pretty cool. So you got the same scene we saw in Machine Girl, only this time we actually got to see the boobs get pierced, like the bare boobs get pierced. So that was cool. Thanks for that, Jean Rollin. There's a pretty cool scene where the groom gets attacked in a library. Like, the books literally start jumping off the shelf and hit the guy. So that was cool. The ceremony, there's like a cemetery in this movie. I'm trying to see if I can find the cemetery again. We see this at night, but it's got like a Pink Floyd light show on. Like, you see like a little bit of red, a little bit of green, just to make it look kind of psychedelic, you know. And of course, half of them are running around with little to nothing on, or just like a complete sheer see-through fabric on, like shroud. And they have these artificial noises in the background. One of them, to me, sounded like a monkey. Didn't you guys pick up on that? Or did you guys that watch this movie?
I didn't
catch the monkey noises? Okay, yeah. There's like a cat, and then there's like a monkey whenever they're walking around outside. But yeah, other than death by nipple spikes, this movie was a slog to get through. It really was. And it has a complete bullshit ending. But that's fine, because the rest of it is a bullshit story. So... unfortunately, like I said, this was the only I would have rather had the nude vampire, because that one's actually a good story. But this was just one of the ones that he did. And eventually the guy that directs these movies got, accused of being a schlockmeister like Ed Wood, and pretty much lived out his life like Ed Wood, started doing porno after this. So,
Wait, Ed Wood did some porno?
Yeah, Ed Wood did porno before his life ended.
Is Vampire in it?
No.
Oh
no, Vampire did not do porn, but yeah, he did at one point direct porn. Because I read up on Ed Wood, because of course I did. I like bad movies, so I do recommend the movie Ed Wood. By the way, that's one of Tim Burton's better movies, and Martin Landau actually got an Academy Award for that movie. So
really,
yeah, he was playing Bela Lugosi in the movie, and he absolutely nailed it. Here we are talking about a different movie when I'm supposed to be reviewing this one. Alex, please tell me you took better notes than I did.
Okay. I can't say I took better notes on this one, but there were a few things that pointed out to me. This movie has some of the silliest jump scares I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you brought that up. Like the lady above, like that was the other thing I should have wrote this shit down. The first time we see a vampire in this movie, she comes out of a grandfather clock. Like this happy lady is like half naked and she pops out of a grandfather clock.
Well, no, remember she got clothes on when she's in the grandfather clock.
That's right. She had the first time, because there's so many scenes with her in that grandfather clock, they started to blur together after a while. I watched this at like 4 in the morning, man. So
she's clearly scrunched up. You can see like her shoulders all scrunched up, and she's trying to look intimidating. It's like, sweetheart, you can't be sitting there scrunched up like that, trying to look scary. It doesn't work. And then she struggles for like a few seconds to get out of the clock.
Yeah, you can tell that wasn't planned. Like they had so much film that day. It's like, honey, just fine. Just come out of the clock. Come out of the clock, and everything will be fine, monsieur.
Oh God! And then the second one was just like, I've been above your bed this entire time.
Right? She was just standing behind the drapes, and they don't. It's a jump scare, but back then they didn't have like the artificial noises to trigger them, so it'd just be like, and it's like I'm like, you know, it's like. Oh, hey, she was topless, so I mean, there was that, you know.
That did kind of help that one.
Like the last movie, most of the women, other than the grandfather clock lady, she was a little stringy for me. Like there was not quite enough meat on those bones. I like a little bit of. I like, you know, I don't like all meat, no potatoes. You know what I mean? I like a little bit of.
You're not a Ruby Rose type of guy.
No, that's
Ruby Rose.
That's more Pete. I like a little bit more padding. Yeah.
Oh, see, I like them all, man. It doesn't matter. They just have to have one redeeming
vampire
quality.
Lady is a string bean, man.
That's not attractive, man.
No,
the heroin chic look doesn't do it.
Let me see if I can find a picture of her.
Emaciated and sunken eye sockets don't really. Do it.
No. This looks like she's like a third day of a 4-day binge. You know, I mean,
when your rib cage looks like a xylophone, I'm fucking out like Feelers and High Top Fades.
This was one of those. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay,
there's Jack Ryan. All right.
The one on the top here, you can't see her very well in this picture, but yeah, that's the head vampire. Note the hippie headbands that are in this. Yeah. So you'll watch this, just watch enough of it to hear the music and then move on. There's not
I kept wondering the whole time. I just kept wondering. Keep it here.
So these two faces here, this is how I felt through most of the movie.
No, this is how I felt during the third.
You have all of these gorgeous women, you're really not doing anything with them. It's like you think this movie is smart and sophisticated, but it's really not. Like you could tell that Jean Rollin was very like taken by this set that he's filming in. He's more interested in that than he is in his own story or his own actors and actresses. Sorry.
I just kept wondering the whole time I was watching. I was like, okay, look, this is back in like what, the 60s, 70s, having this long ago. I was like, yo, where did they get the Asian vampire from? I was like, what's her story?
She's speaking French too.
How did she end up there?
Yeah, like now look.
I mean, she is Asian, right? Because I was asking, I was kind of questioning that too. I'm like,
is she Asian or Polynesian?
I
mean,
that would be even weirder if she's Polynesian.
Well, I mean, she doesn't. I don't know. I'm not.
I mean, this whole thing takes place in France, so
if it was 2020, you'd be like, look, of course there's some Asian person in France. Why wouldn't they be? But I was like, this is back in them old, like even in the 60s and 70s, like Asian people didn't just show up to like France for no reason. I mean, if there's any Asian people in the audience, please correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like this is college. Look, I kind of want to know how she got there.
They never established where these two come from. That's not one of the things that was ever addressed. They start going off on all these tangents about
and the funny thing is they're the two best characters.
There's like this long tirade about vampire rights, and I'm like, oh fuck you! You don't get to
be the two most entertaining characters when they showed up, man.
They were, yeah. They actually looked like they were enjoying being in the movie.
That face right there. If someone could just play the losing sound on Price is Right, like dun 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 dun.
Do we to go back to the Asian? Do we not have a delegate from the Asian delegation here?
Asian delegation.
Yeah, we don't. We need to reach out to the Asian delegation and
get some Asian fans
and find out
Let me see if I can find some more pictures because it looks like IMDb is really failing me on this one.
Look, I will help. Look, I want everyone to be a part of us. Okay, we're for every one of you.
Yeah,
we're for every one of us. Okay, like Flash. Flash. I was gonna say Flash Thompson. Flash Gordon. For every one of us.
Flash Thompson.
Everyone.
What the fuck?
Leave Joe Manganiello out of this.
Props for saying the cool Flash Thompson.
I was gonna say not the one for fucking.
We don't count him.
No,
we don't count that.
Is he? What is he? The Indian Flash Thompson?
Okay, so is that attractive to you, there, Pete?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, this is the grandfather.
Hold up. She looked like one of the creatures from the Dark Crystal.
It's a gelfling. It's a gelfling.
Yeah,
no wonder Adam's not attracted to her.
Nope. Yeah,
bro.
Need a little bit more than that. Like, these two are gorgeous. All right. No complaints there. But yeah, this is somebody that if you see them, you think you need to call their parents or something.
Can we also establish?
Lost? Yeah.
I don't want to make light of it, but can we all establish the fact that this powerful vampire and her two male minions, like they finally realized halfway in the movie, like, wait a minute, we're men. We can just rape you.
That was like the most awkward shit. These two suck. These two people right here ruin every single scene. These two,
and it kind of killed because I guess it kind of
like first they come off like they're trying to be funny, and then they're like exposition city with these two, and then it's like, oh, now we want to be in charge. And by the way, these are the cousins that this lady like went to go visit. So it's like this is one of those movies where I don't know who to root for. Like honestly, I was rooting for these two right here. I wanted them to win. I wanted them to win everything, and they kind of do. They kind of do. They kind of get revenge in the end.
The husband convinces them
for the end credits.
Oh, look here, right here, Pete. Yeah, here's our introduction. Most vampires come out of a coffin or a cave. Nope, our main vampire comes out of a freaking grandfather clock.
Have either of you ever seen Transylvania 6-5000?
Yes.
That reminds me of something that was in that, like Michael Richards in that movie. That reminds me of like a Michael Richards gag from fucking Transylvania 6-5000 right there. And I think Leo Red just answered our question about the Asian vampire. She was an Asian tourist who got bit, threw away her camera, and just stayed in France.
Now, hopefully I don't get in trouble, but you can see here that these costumes that they're wearing in this movie don't leave much to the imagination.
Some girls got naked a lot. They didn't care.
It's distant enough that I probably won't get in trouble, but
I wasn't going to complain.
Nah.
Right? The head vampire. Like, once her two minions realized we can just rape you and just take I was like, why didn't you do this years ago? It kind of kills her agency. Like, she doesn't seem like a threat anymore now.
It's almost like a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker type situation. Yeah.
And then you just thought the ones like, why didn't you just overtake her years ago? Like, how did they overtake? Because they do.
Because they didn't have the camera that day, Alex. You have to understand that when the movie happens, that's when you can do these things.
I'm just sitting there, I was like, okay, it's a rape scene, so it's kind of really awkward, but it's like weird too. Like, why? What? You're supposed to be this big powerhouse. You're talking all this crap to them, and it turned out they could just overpower you.
Especially this asshole on the right here. Let's zoom in on this guy here. He overacts so bad in this movie. Like he's really.
Is that him and his old man? Two pictures to the right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that Crazy Ralph? You're all doomed.
I couldn't stand this guy. I hated him. I hated. He annoyed me so bad, and this is where I started checking my Facebook and just zoning out. I was like. It's like, man, I really wanted this Jean Rollin movie to have like more interest to it, but it just didn't.
I would have liked to check my Facebook, but this was a French language version, which means I had to actually.
So you had to read the damn subtitles, and even when you do read the subtitles, it's not like it goes anywhere. It's like there's.
I don't mind reading subtitles, but when it's a movie that kind of gets that boring, I kind of want to just do something else, but I can't because I have to read what they're saying.
Yeah,
I have to read it all, and my God, this. Don't get me wrong. This was still better than our next movie, but my God,
I don't know about that. I don't think I'm going to go that far. I
will.
I like the music. I like the style, even though I'm not like crazy about like hippies in general. I like the idea that they want to do a hippie like vampire movie. Like at least they're committing to it. Seemed a little weird for 1971, but okay, I'm there. Like end of summer of '69, I get it. All right. free love and all that bullshit. But you know, I like some of the sets, even though he didn't build those, so I can't really give him credit for that. This is a cheap ass movie, let's face it. You know, and you know, for what little they try. Here's what most of the movie looks like right here in this castle, saying stupid things, doing stupid things. I want to show that scene right there, Alex, but if I zoom in on that, it's going to show all of the nudity. But it is funny because she pops right out of them drapes, man, like booga booga booga. It's pretty funny. It was funny, dude. There was like a couple of those moments in this movie too. So, but yeah, Shiver the Vampires, man. Let's see. What can I do? I'm gonna say
It needs some Ingrid Pitt.
to think about this for a minute.
It needs some Ingrid Pitt.
It did need some. It wasn't the ladies that not being pretty in it. It was just that it was a boring movie that had no story to tell.
Don't matter. Still needed Ingrid Pitt.
Maybe.
Or to translate for Pete, it needed some Ruby Rose.
God damn it.
I guess I'm going to go with. Nah, fuck this movie. It's a 1. Yeah, I was gonna give it 2 for style over substance, but I'm thinking about the next movie that we're gonna talk about, and this one here just does not need to exist. It's it's like I heard that this guy did some kind of good movies that were in this same. It's kind of like you know how M. Night Shyamalan, like he did that one thing that he did, and then he just kept doing it over and over again, and it got to be like, you went from like The Sixth Sense to The Happening. This feels like The Happening of this guy's franchise career. You know what I mean? It's like you might have done this better earlier, but at this point you're just like, you really don't have, like, everybody on this set must have just been like stoned out of their mind, man. It's like they all went to a Grateful Dead concert, started making a movie. So
we started eating the treats in my fridge.
I don't know.
on my Butterfinger and Fruity Pebble treats.
What would you give this one, Alex?
I will give it a 2 out of 5.
2? Yeah.
I will say I do think it had some beautiful visuals when I wasn't laughing at it. It did. But the problem is it was beautiful visuals that was covering up a completely nonsensical script.
Yeah, well, it was definitely nonsense, man.
If it wasn't if you got rid of the boobs, this is a 1. But as it stands, I'll give it a 2 because there were some scenes I thought, okay, this is kind of beautiful. Visually, it's beautiful. Like I said, if I'm not laughing at it, because that clock thing is hilarious. I kind of want to make that a meme.
I wanted to get into it more because, yeah, the visual style, but then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, but bruh, you didn't build any of these sets. You just dressed up something that was already there and filmed a bunch of naked girls on it. So you really don't have that going for you either. And also, honestly, I would have went with the 2, but by the ending of that movie, I was like, oh, fuck you, movie.
That was such an anticlimactic ending.
I mean, we've seen anticlimactic endings, and honestly, the whole time I was watching, I'm like, I bet you this movie's going to win me over by the end. I wasn't expecting that.
I feel like we should give the ending away because we really can't.
Go ahead. Spoil the shit out of this movie. I could care less.
Okay. Basically, the husband rescues his girlfriend, which is it Azadeh? I keep wanting to say
she's not worth rescuing anyway because she's an asshole in the entire movie.
I keep wanting to call her Rizzoli and Isles.
May as well have been that. Yeah.
If you laugh and you got that reference, that means you're just as old as I am.
Okay? I am. I'm older than you, brother. I get that reference.
He rescues her, and the sons get ready to come up, and they're having that classic standoff where the two cousins are like, "Come with us," and the husband's like, "Come with me," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go let my cousins just bang the crap out of me on the beach while we all burn up in the sun," and that's how. And the husband, I don't know what happens with the husband. He's screaming. He's like, come back to me. And he's randomly shooting a gun. You know that crazy Texan from The Simpsons who's always shooting his gun? That's the husband at the end of the movie. He's like, yeah.
His little starter pistol that has like 80 bullets in the magazine.
Mm-hmm. I would have actually given the ending some credit if it wasn't for the husband acting weird. Because I'd be like, look, it's depressing, but he wasn't able to save her. It sucks.
It's like, I get you guys don't have a budget to have any kind of special effects, and we weren't expecting that in a movie like this anyway. But don't do that ending, man. It's like you're all out there on the beach, and then it's just like, oop, we're gone. Like, fuck.
And she's naked the
You couldn't
entire
even
time.
had a pile of dust or anything there.
Yeah,
You know,
just jump cut.
really bad.
No
jump
wonder
cut.
he's wondering where his wife is. He's like, she gotta still be here. God, that was terrible though.
Yeah. So, like I said, I wanted to do a Gene Rollin movie, and for my crimes, we got Shiver the Vampire. So, sorry about that, guys. It is
Watch
what
this
it
one,
is.
Pete?
I did not. The only one I watched was Embrace of the Vampire this week, and
Well, that's the one we're talking about next. So you're on deck. You gotta,
Yeah, Pete.
I
time
wish.
for you to go to work, son.
Oh
Time for you to
God.
earn your pay.
Okay, so let's go through a brief synopsis of Embrace the Vampire. Okay, so this is a 1995 film starring Alyssa Milano, and I love the tagline on the poster. It says, "The innocence is over." Basically, this was a movie vehicle for Alyssa Milano to break out of her "Who's the Boss" role. And when I mean break out, I mean just show your tits
Yep.
all
Just-
the time.
I want to show my boobs on camera, guys.
Don't show your boobs, Adam.
And before we get into it, this woman was actually directed. This movie was directed by a female director, Anne Joussard.
That doesn't surprise me because I felt like I was watching Birds of Prey.
This was basically like it's like a more graphic nudity version of like Twilight, I think, kind of. Except
Yeah, pre-Twilight. Yeah,
Yeah.
A little bit. It was like fake Anne Rice. You know,
yeah, these vampires were like twinkle twinkle baby. I mean,
it was Anne Minute Rice is what it was.
So you've got Charlotte, who is Alyssa Milano. She's a virgin and very innocent.
That's her character. That's it.
She plays a innocent girl
She's a
who is
virgin in college, guys, and she lets everybody know.
having bad dreams about sex, and she's dreaming of this vampire, and then she's dating. She has a real life boyfriend who is kind of boring, and he wants to have sex with her, and obviously she's maintaining for this, but oh God. I don't even know where.
Deep breaths, Pete. Deep breaths.
Oh God.
Take it in. Pete. Take it in.
It's I'm just gonna break down what happens through a lot of this movie is there is a lot of licking, everything, bloody doors, armpit.
Oh God, the door, dude! I forgot about that door.
Yes.
That made me physically uncomfortable.
I'm
door licking scene.
I'm
I'm trying to think of how much X did these people take on this set to say, yeah, I'll totally lick that door in front of a camera.
Yeah, I'm a germaphobe, and the number of things that they licked in this movie was. Some of them I'm like, okay, I could lick that, but others I'm like, I'm not going anywhere near that.
I'd lick Alyssa Milano.
I would lick.
I'd ask for seconds. Yeah.
Except she's kind of insane now, so I don't know.
She is now, but you got to remember when this came out. This was 1995.
Yeah, so she was like, I was like 15 when this came out. And
Yeah,
I
think my introduction to her was like early 90s.
Yeah.
So I was like, who is this gorgeous woman on my TV set? Yeah.
Okay, so the college guys in this movie, they made way too many date rape jokes.
Oh
Jesus, God in heaven, was that cringy?
Oh yeah.
You can tell that the movie that we watched was directed by somebody that had some issues.
This movie was
this is a feminist movie.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
but
it's a feminist movie with a lot of boobs.
The sex scenes were shot like softcore porn, though. The lighting,
Even the music.
the music, yeah, that was the lighting, the music, everything was like softcore porn.
That really bad Casio keyboard music.
Oh, that 90s hallmark of Casio keyboard music. Yeah, you couldn't have a softcore
If
Skidamax.
the Hallmark Channel had boobs, they would have Embrace of the Vampire playing 24/7.
Yes. And the funny thing is, Charlotte's friend, who let me, I have to look up the character name. Rachel True, Nicole. Okay, Rachel True, you know her from Charmed.
Half baked.
Yep, yeah, she was Mary Jane in Half Baked, and I would give up Mary Jane for her. When she got killed, Alyssa Milano never noticed she was gone, and that was her best friend.
Yeah, they really did 86 her out of the fucking movie. Man.
Yeah, it was like
asked where she went or anything, and I'm like, well, that's kind of bullshit because she's like really important in the first act, and then
she's gone.
Somehow
disappears
the
from the
bully
movie.
more important to the plot.
Yeah, Jennifer Tilly made like an appearance.
Yeah, she's hot. She's hot.
so
I was
beautiful.
glad that she was in this movie. There she is right there.
Yep.
She kind of saves it for me because we're going to get to it. The third act saves the movie for me, at least for me. I don't know about you guys, but I liked the third act.
Let's see who else we get here.
Other than the door licking scene. The door licking scene I could do without. But
they never.
The third act, I was like, all right.
One thing I really noticed was they never ever used the word vampire during this movie.
They never say vampire, and they never say lesbian.
Nope. But
the vampire's name.
Those things are there, but they're not referenced. Yeah.
The main vampire, who is simply referred to as vampire, he was turned into a vampire by 3 female vampires who were nymphs.
Yes.
I mean, that was kind of funny.
We opened up on that. That was like where I was like interested. I was like, okay, this movie could be good. You know, this is a Skinamax feature, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
this is 100% Skinamax. I think this might be the first time I ever saw it with Skinamax. I'm like, how the hell is Alyssa Milano in a Skinamax movie?
Well,
sign me the fuck up right now.
Trying to get out.
The guy trying to rape Alyssa Milano's character Charlotte. You know, the vampire just like kind of creeps up and kills him. Because
everybody, and I mean everybody, tries to rape Alyssa Milano in this movie, including the director.
He wanted her to stay pure, but he had no problem with her doing the deal with the lesbian photographer.
Yeah, that was.
Can I bring
that's why when you told me this was directed by a female, it made more sense because that middle act was strange, man.
It was, man. Although I will say that's probably the only scene I liked in that movie because
this scene here. Oh my god.
The only reason I liked the scene is not because of the whole thing. That chick, the photographer, she was in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, and I thought she was so hot in that movie. So it kind of got a bit of a pass for that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
It got a pass.
I haven't seen The Golden Child.
If Alyssa Milano's going to have a lesbian love scene, definitely pick a gorgeous female like this for sure.
You know, Eddie Murphy was like, man, why couldn't we did that scene in The Golden Child?
Right? Yeah, here's the friend right here that literally gets 86th and plot hold out of the movie.
She's freaking gorgeous.
She was Judy from Family Matters.
I've seen her in like Law and Order or something like that.
She's like 14 years older than me, so I look at her.
I mainly know her just from Half Baked, but let me see what.
Here we go. Right here.
Yeah, she was in The Craft.
Yep. Yeah, she was like one of the main characters in The Craft.
Right. Yeah, she was great in The Craft.
Yeah.
And the Craft does all of the things in this movie way better than this movie does.
And it didn't forget its one black character.
And I feel like this movie was trying to cash in on the popularity of The Craft and also The Faculty.
Yep.
And,
hold up. I don't think those movies had come out yet by the time.
The Craft didn't come out till after this, and The Faculty was like 97.
This is 95. Okay, so The Craft was 97?
No,
okay.
No, The Faculty, I think, was 96 or 97.
Okay, well, it was definitely copying, what's the one with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt?
Oh, Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire, yeah. This, because it's called Embrace of the Vampire.
Yep.
I mean, it can't get... Also, of all the movies that we watch tonight, this one has the most bullshit head vampire I've ever seen in my entire life. He doesn't
even have a fucking name. I guess.
Is that guy serious with that accent? I mean, for real.
Can we show a clip? Can we show a clip of his accent?
Let me see if I can find a clip. Let me find a trailer. Maybe we can play a trailer.
There is a trailer on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wait, I have to stop here for a minute. Leo Red said, here's a new comic book for an Indiegogo fundraiser, Killing Velocipaster. Oh, I could write it. I could write it. I just need an illustrator. Yeah, take my money. High society is why I knew about this movie, said Manliness and Motivation. No, so, oh God. So in the end, you get, it's just, God.
Take it easy, Pete. Deep breaths, man. We're going to get through this, bro.
Just basically, the goddamn vampire gets destroyed while he's laying in a beam of sunlight. That's like, Charlotte and Chris wake up, they kiss, and then the vampire's destroyed by a sunbeam of fucking light. What the fuck? Well, at least there was boobs.
There was lots of boobs.
There was lots of boobs. I mean,
So we're not going to address the elephant in the room.
Hold on, we're getting to that point. I want to do a share of the video first, so we can.
You got the dream scenes.
Know what we're talking about. We're going to show the Alyssa Milano Brace the Vampire trailer. If I have to cut this out later, so be it. We're going to get this. We're going to get this point across one way or another. Damn it! All right, so here we go. All right, let's unmute that and increase that. Brace the Vampire.
New Line Cinema, go figure.
Yep. New Line trash. This guy is a douchebag.
Yep.
It's not even cool.
He made Gerald Butler look like a cool vampire.
Don't be in a vampire movie and not at least be a cool vampire. Look at that. She's mine.
Oh yeah, in the tradition of home video success, Poison Ivy. Let that sink in. The first revealing role.
But his time in this world is coming to an end.
By the way, all this music playing in the background is bullshit. None of that in this movie. None of it. None of it. I have to talk over this so I don't get a copyright strike.
She found that fucking necklace. I forgot about that. She found that necklace and just decided to wear it. She had no idea where it was from.
Into his throat.
I've seen you before. In a dream.
Oh, God, this sucks.
Embrace them. But we like this scene.
Yeah.
Man, I like that scene.
Oh, yeah, I bet you. Oh, yeah, she did come back in that scene.
That's why I'm saying the third act of this movie is worth it. See that outfit right
Janet
there?
Jackson they're using right there?
God, that was so silly, the neck thing.
I will take you, be sure of that. That's a terrible accent.
Oh, you sold it on Double Dragon.
I know.
The craze, Martin Kemp, you suck. There you go. Who should not have been in this movie.
Yeah, what the fuck was she thinking?
She's in the movie for like
hold on.
5 minutes.
In all fairness, she's in Seed of Chucky.
Yeah, this is true.
Embrace the possibility.
Embrace it.
That's in the tradition of Poison Ivy.
The tradition of Poison Ivy? Are you?
I didn't know there was a tradition for Poison Ivy.
There's like 3 or 4 Poison Ivies.
There was.
R-rated and unrated. Okay, yeah, they go straight to the video with this one.
Pay-per-view window.
A 90-day pay-per-view window.
Just old man.
Yo, to get WrestleMania, I'm gonna order Embrace of the Vampire. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
This is one of those
pay-per-view
movies where you want this out of your life. Like, you don't want this to be remembered. You don't want this to be your legacy.
This movie needs to burn. It needs to burn in hell and never come back ever again.
But you're missing the third act, man. Because like when she changes in the third act,
she turns into a whore.
Like, I don't care.
And in the third act, she comes out and she's whoring it up. She's got her hair all done up. She's wearing a dark red dress. She's wearing the black lipstick, black combat boots. I don't know.
She smokes a lot and acts like a whore in the third act.
She's a smoke show in the third act, and I enjoyed that. And I kind of wish that she would have made that transition earlier, because it would have made this movie a lot less boring, because it's a slog to get there. This scene right here could have gone on all day, and I would have given this movie a higher score.
Yeah, if the whole movie was her,
I don't give a shit.
Wearing those stockings and
I watched this movie because I think she's beautiful. All right, and just when I found out that she was in this, and I was surprised. This outfit right here.
Yep.
Why was the vampire? The vampire was so obsessed with, and I think Pete even said it. She has to be pure. She can't be tainted. She has to be pure. Then why are you trying to have her tainted and raped the rest of the movie?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's why I say he's the worst vampire I've ever seen in a movie, because he haunts a campus. Like, he's been around since the 1500s, and he's stalking this one boring girl. Well, let's not say she's boring. It's Alyssa Milano, but still,
she's boring. She's boring.
She's very boring in the movie. Yeah, she's hot. She's hot, though. She's hot.
Hot doesn't excuse boredom.
Right. Hot doesn't make her an interesting character. Yeah, she's more interesting when she's trying to hoe it up in the third act.
The reason he's at that campus thing. And remember, we need to call the elephant in the room. She may not, in real life, she probably is old enough, but this character is supposed to be 17 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
17.
So this miserable vampire is stalking a 17-year-old on a campus.
She's only 17.
She's
17. Little winger there for you.
But you know what the problem with this movie is? It became a trope. It started with the Jack Palance Dracula movie. It's this damn vampire trope of the reincarnated love of my life.
Yep.
That is such an annoying.
It's totally doing Dracula, man. It is. It's doing Dracula, but they instead of doing it in any setting, let's just do it on campus.
The only time that trope ever worked was in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula and Blackula. Those are the only two movies where it worked.
Blackula, yeah, dude.
It does not work in any other way. Oh, it's the reincarnation of my wife. Like, cut that out.
Highlight Leo Red's comment.
I will do that.
God, I want to see this.
Oh my God! So yeah,
R. Kelly, shouldn't you be singing "I Believe I'm a Cry"?
I believe I'm a touch.
I don't even know what happens to this vampire. It's like he starts off exactly where he ended, like just kind of just laying in a room, just being miserable, and because she decides at the last minute that she likes her dorky boyfriend. That was the ending. Like he's rather than go with the most uncool vampire in a movie ever. Let's just go with the dorky vampire or the dorky boyfriend.
Well, he kept calling to her. He kept calling to her in the dream sequences.
Oh my God! Every time he spoke, it just made me like want to roll my head off my shoulders, man.
Even Batman is like, dude, you are not cool. Robert Pattinson is just like, man, I'm way more badass than you are.
Anybody. I just what would have made this movie better is like you can keep Alyssa Milano, have Stephen Dorff, and then have Wesley Snipes come in and kill that dumbass vampire.
Oh God!
Like in the most unceremoniously way possible.
Wesley Snipes.
Have him take out his glaive and just chop his head off and say, "You're welcome," and then ride off on a motorcycle. That would have saved it for me.
Wesley Snipes would be like, "Don't you waste my time with this. You call Chris Christopherson."
Have Whistler handle my light work.
You call
actually, Norman Reedus at that point.
Yeah, you call these guys. Don't waste my time with this. But it's like I was kind of talking about off air before we went live. It's like, okay, these girls that were in these goody two-shoe sitcoms and they want to have their little breakout role where they can say, "See, I'm naughty too," and part of me is like, "All right, what you got? I'm listening." I'm all right with this, because obviously she's not 17 or she wouldn't have been able to make this.
Yeah, she's not 17. But it's just funny to see like everyone trying to rape this underage girl.
Yeah, like you said, except the vampire just lets the girl, her and the photographer just go at it. He's like, well, she'll still be pure if they hang on a second, I turn my camera on here.
I guess she figured, look,
if they just give me the solo shot for a second.
I will. I'll give you a solo shot.
Don't count.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like if they just do this, it doesn't matter. She's still pure, I guess. A little yodeling in the valley never hurt anybody.
Look, man, it was
her fucking hymen was still intact. She wasn't playing car ramrod with a bedpost.
That's how you know this was directed by somebody with some clearly, like there was some similar issues that I had with like Black Christmas, where it's like these relationships are strange. And
this woman who directed she's an odd one.
The blonde at the beginning, like she is like the most evil fucking person in the world. Why is she walking with these three people? Clearly, she hates both of them.
It didn't make
She's
any sense.
just a bitch. She's a superficial bitch. So that tells me that the director got picked on by somebody like this either in high school or in college and made her the most basic, nastiest bitch. But most girls that I know would not hang out with a bitch like this.
No, it's like, why?
That's not even this movie. That was just something that happened all the time in 80s and 90s.
I was doing a share and I had you on the solo.
Go ahead. You can take me off solo and hit your share up. Yeah. It didn't make any sense. I'm like, why the fuck are they even talking to this woman? Like, this makes no goddamn sense whatsoever.
I'm pointing a girl on the right here. She's the most basic bitch I've ever seen. And she's hanging out with these two, who we assume are supposed to be the good guys in this movie because they don't seem like they're too terrible until they go to a party. And then this girl, her entire objective to go to that party is to fuck anything that moves. I mean, anything that's willing to give her the time of day, which is kind of strange from the character that they set up in the beginning. I'm like, So she just goes to one party, doesn't even have a drink, and it's like, hey, who wants to fuck? You know, it's like, I'm pretty sure I've been to some college parties. It doesn't work quite like that. Like, there's a couple of steps that you have to take before you get to that point. And I haven't been to college in a long time, but still, I'm pretty sure there's still some steps that you can take. So
it's weird seeing, because that the blonde was what was her name? Jordan. That's Ladd. Jordan Ladd. That's Jordan Ladd. Cheryl Ladd's daughter.
Okay.
And that's one thing I absolutely love Jordan Ladd. She is, if anybody's ever seen any Broken Lizard movies, Jordan Ladd is just beautiful. She was in was it Club Dread? And God, was she gorgeous? She would play the aerobics instructor in that. And
she's gorgeous in this too, because there's a third scene where she, Alyssa Milano shows up to the party. She's not talking to her boyfriend. She's obviously being seduced by this miserable vampire who's just awful in every single scene. So she shows up to the party, and she's got this. She looks exactly like Alice from Resident Evil. She's wearing the same fucking outfit. She's got the black boots, blood red dress, dark lipstick. Except let's face it, Mila Jovovich rocks that shit better than Alyssa Milano. But I still appreciate the effort, because I still think Alyssa Milano is a beautiful woman. But anyway, she shows up. She's smoking a cigarette. She's wearing the onk. She's like, looking all badass and whored up and everything. And then, so the blonde slips some ecstasy in her drink. And then the rest of the night, all she sees is just the rest of this party is just Sodom and Gomorrah. Everybody is making out, taking their clothes off, and it just goes on forever. And I'm like, I could have used some of this about an hour ago in this movie, because I was so bored. Why did it take so long to get to this movie? Because clearly this is the kind of movie that this was meant to be, right? So that's why I say this director really was going after Alyssa Milano probably more than the creepy men that she had in her movie. Just bad. So it's all starting to make sense now. But I'll go first. I'll give it a score. I'm going to give this one. I'm giving this one 2 out of 5. And the reason I'm giving it 2 out of 5 is, boom, right there, 2 out of 5 cheese curds. That's all it needed for me.
You were waiting this whole time, weren't you, for that?
He has. That's the long time.
Do you need anything else? And they don't just. It's not just like one thing you quickly see, and then that's like something you have to pause. You'll get plenty of that in this movie, but the rest of the movie is a slog to get through. It takes a long time. You probably want to watch it on, you get it on DVD so that you can fast forward to your favorite scene and then just like not ever watch any of the rest of it ever again. But yeah, I think that's a well-earned 2 out of 5 cheese curds right there.
Just keep going back those scenes.
Wow.
So, Pete, since you delivered this one,
okay, I'm back. I'm even with all the boobs in this. I'm going 1. I have to give it 1. And I, at that point in time in 1995,
this was your pick too, technically.
Yeah,
so, well, sort of. I mean, we kind of talked you into it, but
that's okay. I was all right with it, no problem. But I
had you at Alyssa Milano, right?
Yeah, you had me at Alyssa Milano, and gratuitous nudity and whatnot. But I mean,
talk to the hand.
The main vampire, named Vampire, was just a fucking.
Let's just call him Schmuck.
Oh, what the fuck ever!
Schmuck the Vampire. He did the highlight of his movie though was for his character, I would say, was when he killed Jordan Ladd's character Eliza. He just kind of bangs her head against the wall, and that's when he licked the blood off the door.
Weird. It's like I was glad that happened because she's such a miserable bitch. And I'm like, so is that why you made her such a miserable bitch, so that when she gets her head smashed against the wall, we don't feel sorry for her? But then she leaves a trail of blood on the side of the door, and then he starts licking the fake blood off of the door.
Yep.
And I'm like, ew.
Do you? I was like, that's not fucking hygienic. That is not hygienic.
This movie had a real hard time picking a tone and staying with it.
Yeah, it did. What did there was a tone.
It was a tone.
I was like, I think me and my little sisters used to like play Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and stuff like that with my toy guns, and I think we made better movies back in the '80s with my mom and dad's VHS camera than my mom recording us than this was. I mean, we actually had a bigger production budget too.
It's like manly and motivated. I agree with you. Just watch it on fast forward; it works great. Yeah. Fast forward to your favorite scenes, skip everything else.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 1 out of 5 for me.
It's it tries to be artsy fartsy in spots, trying to tell like this story, and like you instantly hate this vampire like right from the get-go, because it's like he's narrating, he's talking over the scenes. It's like, oh, get over yourself. It's like, this is bullshit. The relationship that's one thing I like about Bram Stoker's Dracula is, even superficially, they kind of set up exactly how he feels for Mina. You know what I mean? It's like, you kind of get it, and you kind of start to feel sorry for him. That's kind of why that character works. This one tries to do that and does a terrible job at it. Like it doesn't set it up properly. So you don't have any payoff because you didn't do the work that you needed to get there. So, but yep, 2 cheese curds just for the two reasons that I mentioned. I'm selfish. I am. That was all I needed. So yeah, out of all these 3 movies, only one of them is worth watching. The rest of them is just, I don't know. I guess this was a bad idea, so I apologize.
Nah, you're fine, man. Gary Oldman, he was not, but
Alex, how do you feel about Embrace of the Vampire?
I think my avatar says it all. A 1 out of 5. This was a terrible, awful movie. It was a chore to sit through. And look, I think Melissa Milano's hot too. But you know what? If I want to see her naked, I'll just either look it up online or go on Pornhub. This was hold up. Let me just. At no point in this rambling, incoherent movie was it even come close to anything considered a rational plot. Everyone in this chat room is now dumber for having watched it. I award this movie no points, and may God have mercy on its soul.
Yeah,
I hated this movie.
It gets a will. But still, cheese curds.
At least there was some beautiful visuals in the Shivers movie. It was stupid, but it was something beautiful to look at it at times. There's nothing beautiful outside of the Golden Child chick.
Not even Jennifer Tilly. I liked it when Jennifer Tilly showed up, but she showed up a little too late and not enough of her.
I like Jennifer Tilly. I think she's a fine actress, but she's not exactly in my spank bank. No? And the problem is, I think because now I associate it too much with the Chucky movies, and I think those are terrible, at least 4 onwards.
I'm pretty sure that this is one of those movies that Alyssa Milano wishes she could undo and not be in. And everything.
Oh, especially now, considering how much of a feminist she is.
Yeah, but you know what? It's still kind of a feminist movie, but it's also kind of a softcore porn too.
I wanna ask her. I wanna be like, so was this now that your dumbass is acting like the country is for women is real life version of The Handmaid's Tale? What were you doing in 1995, you little hussy? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, come on, bitch.
I will say this though, I will say this for Jennifer Tilly. She had an amazing rack.
She does.
That's what I'm saying, man.
If he had actually pulled that top down, it might have bumped it up to if either her or the chick from if either one of them had taken their tops. The only 2 women I want to see topless were not topless. If they had, it could have got a 2.
Manliness and motivation said it best. And like I said, there was a time where there was no Pornhub, there was no internet. We had Skinamax, and this was one of those ones. If it was on Skinamax, like, yeah, this one's not bad. Like I know where I can get up and go make popcorn.
Yeah, but now we do have it.
Yeah, so now
you can
Google your favorite scenes and forget about it. But hey, at the time, Alyssa Milano was hot stuff, man.
Yep.
So this was a big deal that she was doing this.
And seeing, yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
saying she should have, but that's why we watched it, you know. So
Seeing her topless in 1995 was like, that was fucking as big
it was
as.
like glory, glory, hallelujah.
And you're talking like pre Pamela and Tommy Lee.
Swing, swing, shut it.
Oh
Because the Pamela and Tommy Lee sex tape didn't come out until 96. That was like the first big sex tape to hit the internet.
Yeah.
It was.
The Rob Lowe one never got released for obvious reasons.
Who was Rob Lowe with, man?
I remember at one
But
point the
underage girl.
Pam and Tommy video actually, like, they released it on like DVD and then you could buy it.
I remember that. That's the only one where I
Different
think
angles and shit.
Oh my God.
I actually thought Polly did get stolen. I think everyone after that, they clearly faked it.
Yeah, there's no body double in this one. Like the movie goes out of its way to show you, yes, this is Alyssa Milano. Yes, this is a love scene. Some of the love scenes work, some of them don't. Some of them are just out of place.
Some of them worked.
Still not as awkward as The Room.
Some of them, no, none of them are as awkward as
Nothing
The Room.
nothing is as awkward as watching Tommy Wiseau hump
Really?
that poor girl's belly button.
Nothing? Really? Have you forgotten Velocipaster's sex scene?
Oh God, I tried.
That's
to,
right.
I
There was
had,
a love scene. There was a clothed love scene in that movie.
I had a
Right.
lobotomy to forget that, and you just ruined my lobotomy. Damn it! Now I have to go through another one of those.
Where they have to get down and dirty, but they still got to keep their bra and underwear on for the Lord.
Yeah. Oh wait, Manliness and Motivation said this. The sex tape was hidden on the same tape as Little Giants when I recorded it.
Yeah, I think I might have had this one recorded somewhere, you know.
Oh,
So
I
I
bet
just
you do.
that's why I thought, oh hey, there's you know, and you got to remember a lot of these things that I watch too, man. Like I used to drink a lot when I used to watch these too, so I don't remember. I wasn't sober enough to remember the plot and the pacing and all those kind of things. So
Adam's about to bust out the VHS after the show.
no, actually, I have a digital copy of this movie. I own it.
Just did a 4K.
I own it. I have it. I do. I have a copy of this movie. I would have rather reviewed Female Vampire. That's God, I forgot who directed it. There he is. Yeah, but no, a Female Vampire. I would have rather reviewed that for this show. But there was no way that you guys could have watched that without having to like buy a copy or rent it. And I didn't want to do that to you. So that's how we arrived at these movies. You know, it's like what can we stream on Tubi or YouTube to watch? So I was glad that the vampire lovers were there. I should just let you pick all the freaking movies, but there you go, Pete.
That was,
Two in the Stunning, one in the...
that's how I felt at the end. I'm like, I mean, needs 2 in the Stunning and 1 in the Brave at the end.
Oh,
of the
thank God he's not directly underneath my avatar now.
Especially with Cosby's facial expression.
Yeah.
Perfect. We need a 4th person to jump in so I can
We
bump
need
over
Phoenix
to the right
back.
a little bit.
We need Phoenix back on the show.
With Phoenix, they bump me over to the right.
Well, I got news for that. Phoenix is actually going to be back next week because he texted me yesterday and he says he couldn't make it tonight. He wanted to be there, but he's got some things going on. But he wants to come back next week. So he'll pick one of the movies. We won't do any more Lesbian Vampires. Now that got out of the way, I didn't get to do my favorite, which was, like I said, Female Vampire, but that's a Jess Franco movie. That's I was trying to remember the name of it.
Wait,
I always get Jean Rollin and Jess Franco confused because they did a lot
What did you say that movie was called again?
Female Vampire.
Let's see.
I
I don't know if I can Google any pictures of it because there is a lot of raunchy stuff in that one. Yeah.
I own it. It's in that 50 horror collection thing I had.
Female Vampire. Are you sure you got that? Because this is a Jess Franco movie.
Yeah, I think this is it. It looks old. It doesn't tell me who directed or starred in it, but
hold that thought.
From 1973. Yep.
I ain't doing any more lesbian vampire movies.
By Jesus Franco. Let's see. It stars Lena Romay, Jack Taylor, and Alice Arno. Am I looking at the right movie group?
Okay, no, I don't think you're looking at the right movie. Let me solo it shot here. So,
okay.
Sorry, Manliness Motivation. I have to get you off the screen here for a second.
We got to get to porn.
Yeah,
Lena Romay.
Yeah.
Lena Romay was married to Jess Franco.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
This,
Okay.
yeah, it was originally called a well, there's a softcore version called Erotic Kill. I mean, it's a raunchy one, but
That used to be on Netflix. I remember seeing that.
I like this one a lot, but I couldn't find a way for you guys to watch it at the same time I did, so we couldn't do this one. Otherwise, this would have been my pick. This is like one of my favorite friggin' movies ever. But
God, I really should watch some of the. I've seen some of the movies on my collection. I've not watched them all yet.
Well, don't. Yeah, I was gonna say don't go with the Redemption logo because that Shiver the Vampires is part of the same set. So, but it's not. That was a Jean Rollin. Jean Rollin and Jess Franco did a lot of similar movies, except Jess Franco also did some mainstream movies too. So he was a little bit more well known for doing like mainstream stuff as well as like underground independent weird stuff with his wife. So but I would have rather done that one, but we arrived at what we did.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I've seen that movie. Doesn't she bite somebody while she's giving him a blowjob?
Yes.
Jesus, help me, Rhonda. That's a fucking nightmare.
I've seen that movie before.
That's the one, man. It's not boring, I can tell you that much. There's a lot of weird shit in that movie, and I like it. I like it because it's weird. I do.
That was one of those ones where I felt unclean after.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I felt unclean.
Oh God, what was it? That movie, I Spit on Your Grave. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Not
I've seen the original, and I've seen the remake, and the remake is bullshit.
The remake was fucking terrible.
The original one made me feel like I watched a snuff film.
Yeah, the remake. Okay, so me and Erica had just got together, I think, when we were watching that. We were watching it. It was when I was still living with my parents, and my dad was home, and we were like, one of my boys said, "Hey, check this movie out." I'm like, "All right." So we watched it, and we're sitting there watching with my dad. And it comes to the rape scene, and you know what I'm talking. And me and my new girlfriend and my dad are sitting there watching this, and it's like all three of us are kind of like looking at each other, and I'm just like, we're just going to skip over the scene. And everybody would just kind of like silently nodded in agreement. I'm like, okay, that's a little cringy. Now, I will say that the retribution scenes in that movie were pretty fucking cool. Like, especially was the fish guts on the face, and then the bird attacking the guy's eyes, and then the bathtub full of acid, and homeboy had his hands tied behind his back, stretched over a piece of lumber. That was cool. That was a good argument for core strength right there. So,
Familyist Motivation says looks about Bear Wench levels of production. There's a set that I had that had it was the Lord of the G Strings, Spider Babe, and Planet of the Babes.
Misty Monday.
Misty Monday, yeah. So see, you like some of this shit too, Alex. That's why I don't feel bad recommending some of these to you. But yeah, some of them are better than others. Now that we're older and we've seen a lot of them, we have our preferences. So. But yeah, I Embrace the Vampire I always knew was not a good movie. It just had some good like nude scenes.
God, that was so terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
That took a lot. Like I finished that like Monday, but I was like, that was really hard to get through, man. That was hard.
Well, I was watching it at like 4 or 5 in the morning because I was trying to catch up for the show because the week just kind of got away from me. But Leo Red wanted to address. I just want to say the Sonic movie was surprisingly good. Jim Carrey was funny. Yeah. We want to talk about that a little bit? Spoiler-free stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Why the hell not? Because we've gotten through our vampire lesbian thing. So, and I'll probably never do that ever again unless I can do...
At least
unless we can discuss this one, we won't be revisiting that topic anytime soon.
At least not as a theme.
Right. Well, we'll make sure that we can pick some ones that we kind of all agree on so it's not such a slog to get through. But, Alex saw it, I think, the exact same time I did. Did you go at like 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. That was the show I saw. It was 5 o'clock on Thursday. Not a lot of people in the theater, unfortunately. There was only maybe 6, 7 people.
We had quite a bit of people in my theater. It wasn't sold out, but it was quite a bit.
There was probably 6, 7 people. I'd say maybe half of them were kids, but they seemed to be enjoying it. Like nobody in the theater was like groaning or miserable. And I'm trying to decide. Well, you saw it, so did I see a good kids movie, or is it just that I've seen so many bad movies recently that I have like beyond lower expectations?
You saw a good kids movie.
Okay, good. Because I enjoyed it. I was not bored. I didn't have a headache. Because my problem with like a really bad kids movies, I start getting a headache after a while because it's like it just hurts to watch. Like Doolittle or Playmobil the movie. I mean,
well, I told you Doolittle was going to be terrible.
I knew Doolittle was going to be terrible, but I had to see it because $175 million budget with Robert Downey Jr. Man, like,
hey, you know what else had $175 million budget of Robert Downey Jr.? Endgame.
It was more than that, wasn't that more like 300 million?
Doesn't matter. Same thing. Robert Downey Jr. Big budget. It sucked.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I like Sonic. I thought it was a good movie. I think it's and somebody pointed this out before I even noticed it. It's a very 90s movie. Like it has a 90s cast, a 90s plot, 90s pacing. Doesn't have 90s. Actually, special effects are pretty good. Like I thought all the vehicles and everything that Robotnik has were cool. Like I liked all that tech.
This is the movie that's going to usher in the 90s nostalgia way. Wonder Woman will be what ends the 80s one, and Sonic is what's now going to officially introduce. It ain't Captain Marvel. I don't care what anyone says. It was not Captain Marvel. Sonic is what now introduces us to the 90s nostalgia, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm happy to have also finally seen a movie based on a video game property that didn't suck. Like it really didn't suck. Like there was nothing that annoyed me. Even like the post credit scene, I wasn't like rolling my eyes like, oh, here we go with this shit. Like I kind of knew that was coming anyway. So when it happened, I wasn't like, yeah, well, of course they're going to do that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it didn't feel forced. So I enjoyed it. Not all the jokes landed for me, but I think that's partly because of my age. I'm not a kid, so some of them land, some don't. But it's one of those things where you can see it as an adult or a kid, and I think you would enjoy it either way.
Good news, though, you only have to stay for the mid-credits. There is no actual post-credit scene.
No. There's like a flash of credits, and then there's an end scene, and then there's the credits, and then there's another scene. You don't have to sit through the second batch credits. It's not like watching Guardians of the Galaxy where you have to sit there through the entire thing. Although I love that movie, so I don't really mind sitting through that whole thing. But yeah, no, it's not like that. It's not like Marvel Force type post-credit scene.
I don't need any more Marvel post-credit scenes.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Marvel's just they can't help it. They can't help it.
I thought he was actually setting something up. I'm like, take it away, Pete.
I'm drunk. I don't fucking know.
It's all right, dude.
It's been a shitty day. I told you guys right before we came out of here. It's been.
He's kind of dressed like one of those vampires from Shiver the Vampire.
Actually, here, exactly. I wear this shirt all the time because it's so fucking comfortable and it's my lounge shirt. People are probably like, does this motherfucker own another shirt? I do, but this is like a snap-on. It's got like two skulls and they're flaming and whatnot. My buddy worked for Snap-on. He was a delivery driver, and he gave me a bunch of like Snap-on gear for Christmas. And this was one of the shirts, and I just throw this on. And I had like a sleeveless shirt on before we went on air, but I'm like, I looked at myself with a sleeveless shirt on, and I'm like, I'm going to cover my arms up.
Tika Sumpter is pasty. Beautiful. And I thought that her and I was really impressed with let me think of his name for a second.
Tika Sumpter.
Tika Sumpter was what's his name's
James Marsden's wife?
James Marsden's wife.
I haven't even seen the movie yet. I'm going to see it tomorrow.
They had a nice relationship that was charming. So James Marsden impressed me. I'm kind of angry that I don't see James Marsden in more lead roles because he's lead role material.
He was in something.
Westworld.
I see. I've never seen Westworld.
It might be his best since that's probably his best movie since
his role in Westworld was like Emmy worthy.
Yeah,
really good. His character and everything, but he was still a supporting character. He wasn't the main.
Wasn't he in the X-Men movies?
Yeah, he was Cyclops.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought he was Cyclops.
And then they just fucking erased him in Last Stand.
Well, that's not Fox's fault. He was supposed to be in X-Men 3. He left to go do Superman 5. Was it Superman Returns?
Oh, Superman. So that was his choice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Brandon Roth one?
That wasn't a good choice, was it? Yeah.
No.
Although he was a supporting actor in that too. Why did he leave one?
Never watched
that's
that.
not really that's like a lateral move. Yeah.
I don't think he's you know what the funny thing is? he's modern day Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man. Like, you're never the lead. You're the side character until that big role comes.
I want to see James Marsden in more leads after this. I want this movie to be successful because let's just address the elephant in the room. Like Birds of Prey, it represents some different things. It's not so much the movie, more about what it represents, but it is actually a good movie. But if it does well, then it tells studios that if you respect your fans, good things happen. Okay, and studios will start listening to fans and respecting them.
I see that. Okay, now I don't want any spoilers for this. This is one movie. I'm just looking at Leo Red's comment down there. It says that make credit scene means that I'll buy a ticket for part 2. So I take it they set up a sequel for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still a complete movie. It's not
it's not leaving on any cliffhangers or anything like that. It leaves room for a sequel without. It's not. Put it this way. It's not Alita Battle Angel where it's
what's the runtime?
Well, no, Alita Battle Angel I thought was a complete movie on its own.
I think it's like an hour and 38 minutes.
So this is something that will entertain a 4.5.
Well, Alita Battle Angel is, as much as I love it, it's a part 1 of a continuing story. It's more like the first part of the season. Yeah.
I mean, she still stops the main villain in the movie and kind of just it's a day over, you know.
Yeah,
I was fine with Alita. I thought it was a complete.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying
that was a good movie.
I don't consider
it
Edward
a little
Norton
bit more of a
villain.
cliffhanger ending than
Edward Norton was just a shell for the main villain.
Edward Norton was just there.
That's what I thought.
The main villain, because by that same logic, hey, Luke doesn't kill the Emperor in Episode 4. You know?
There's a lot of somebody pointed it out earlier, and I have to agree with this. And I know it's going to make some people angry, but as long as we're talking about Alita, Alita has a lot of setup. I mean, it's a lot of setup, first act, the movie. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I love what they did with it, and I love this universe that they fleshed out and created, and I love Rosa Salazar as Alita, and most all the characters in it were awesome.
Yep.
But it is a lot of setup for things that don't get addressed that are setting up for a sequel.
I'm just worried that Disney
kind of annoys people, and I think it's a fair argument. I couldn't give it a perfect score because of that, and I think that's why it didn't do better, because a lot of critics address that. It's like, don't make something and force people to go see something else. That's what screwed up the DCEU.
Yep.
And that's a lot of the same mistake that they made in Alita. It's like, don't be doing that. Don't be expecting audiences to commit to 17 films until your first one's a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they really, like Justice League. They put the cart before the horse.
Right. And I know a lot of those things were put into play because Marvel became the big juggernaut that it was, and it's like, oh, well, we have to have everything has to be a connecting universe because that's the new zeitgeist, and a lot of those things were put into play 2 or 3 years ago. So when they come out now, it's like, oh, really? You're doing that again? Like, audiences are moving on faster than these things are completed. You know,
this is for me. And we're on YouTube right now, so I'm gonna talk about this because this is an issue I'm having. Is there's so many people that are checked out of the MCU that when something good happens or there's some news that like for me, for example, like I'm still kind of looking forward to not the Marvel Spider-Man, but the Sony Venomverse, okay?
Oh yeah.
I'm all my chips are pushed over to the Sony table right now because I love Venom. I fucking loved it. I'm looking forward to Morbius because outside of the Joker, Jared Leto has been in some good fucking movies. Jared Leto's a good actor. He is a good actor. Joker was not representative of that man's level of talent, and I'm not talking about his music because I don't fucking like 30 Seconds to Mars.
It had a lot of that David Ayer stank on it. It looks like they're trying to move away from that look. Like, as much as I don't like Birds of Prey, at least they're attempting to distance themselves from that side of the universe. That whole ghetto trash gangbanger look to everything. It's like Joker, not everything has to look like they've been in prison all their lives.
Like, when the fuck did Joker get a grill? I mean,
he does.
Is it 2005?
Like a fucking juggalo, man.
I'm gonna go get my Faygo. But no, I'm a recovering juggalo. You guys, I'm.
But you saw that picture. I don't know if that's a fake or not, but there was that picture today of Margot Robbie in the original.
No,
Harley
I
Quinn
think
costume.
that's a set photo from the Suicide Squad.
That's badass, man. I'm not hating that at all, and I'm not, especially after watching Birds of Prey. Oh, we lost Alex. So
He'll be back. He said, "Fuck you, I'm out."
Fuck this dude, I'm out. That was enough to drive him away right there. But yeah, I'm not opposed to that idea of going back. I was not excited about Suicide Squad 2.
I watched,
especially after watching Birds of Prey, dude.
I watched 45 minutes of the first Suicide Squad movie before I literally was like, I'm done. I'm done here. I can't sit through any more of this. I was like, because I was watching it at home. I was getting up and I was doing shit. And oh God, Leo Red says ETEP grills are still in. I have one. I want to see a picture of Leo Red wearing a fucking grill. I just want to see it. I do. But no, I couldn't get into Suicide Squad at all. I was just,
you scared me there for a second. I'm like, did I say something to piss off Alex?
No, I don't know what happened. I just got disconnected there. I'm back.
Alex got E-tapped. He just got kicked off the stream for no reason.
You saw that picture of Harley Quinn today, Alex?
Oh yeah, I thought that was fake at first.
I did too.
I did too, but it's apparently from the
Suicide
movie.
Squad 2.
Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad.
I mean, Birds of Prey is the most non-advert. I don't hate Suicide Squad as much as most of the internet does, but it does suffer from a lot of the same problems that the DCU is, where it's like all set up and then you just rush to the end of the third act for like no reason. Then we got to have all these people do stuff now.
Well, everything was like
Birds of Prey is the exact same shit. It's like set up. Now we got to have them hurry up and do stuff. It's like,
from what I saw, the first Suicide Squad movie, it was like the music was almost more important than, you know what I mean? Like they used so much music in that movie. It was like
they were trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. I'm sorry.
Birds of Prey did that shit too,
and that's what I've heard about. And I'm not.
There's like it's like somebody's iPod shuffle with 240 songs. And they play 15 seconds of all the songs.
And I will.
No Flare X. Chris Wicks is not with us tonight, so you should be safe. Yeah.
I haven't seen Chris on one of mine or your streams in a while. I feel really
I think
bad.
Chris is scared to be on the streams now because he's afraid of banning somebody by mistake.
I'm gonna email Chris and be like, dude, I'll unwrench you if you will come back to the streams if you're that scared.
Somehow I picture one of these days we're gonna say the wrong thing and Flare X is around saying, those motherfuckers banned me and I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Just minding my own business, doing nothing. Ban my ass for nothing.
Him and Leo Red got banned.
Yeah, both you guys. Like, we appreciate having you guys. Of course, we didn't ban you. You were the only ones in the chat and just pocket ban everybody in the chat, I guess. So no, he hasn't. Yeah. So anyway, back to Harley Quinn though. After watching Birds of Prey, I'm really not excited about Suicide Squad 3. But after seeing that picture, I'm like, well, I don't know, because there's no way in this world you can make Margot Robbie not look attractive. I'm convinced. With all the ghetto bullshit, even with the stupid costumes that she's wearing in Birds of Prey, she's still attractive.
She's hot. You can't. You can't.
You just
That's
can't.
why I said they wanted to make her less male gazy. I'm like,
so
she is
put her in the original Harley Quinn costume then.
That's like a bodysuit.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie. I'm gonna say Margot Robbie is a fucking goddess. Okay, you are not gonna dumb that woman down. Like, you would have to make her look like Charlize Theron from Monster to dumb that woman down. She is an absolute goddess.
Oh, nothing, Keely Chow. We just kind of plowed through our movies. Giggity. But we're just kind of talking.
No pun intended.
We're just getting a little pop culture stuff that's been addressed in the chat here. So we knew we were going to get to that shit. So.
Oh God damn it, Leo Red, you too with this.
Yeah, we're not going there. Nope, not letting you do it. We're not derailing. But yeah, back to Margot Robbie though. But yeah, if you just want to put, that's why I need for Sonic to do well, because I want fandoms to start being respected again.
Yep.
It's like, you're not going to get rid of the SJW politics. Fine. All right. Don't be ham-fisted with it, maybe, but start respecting fandoms at least. People have been reading comics for years. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. It's like, it already works. Just put them in the fucking costume,
if you want to buy good comics, just buy independent comics.
It's like we've spent most of our lives. It's like studios. They get a hold of a independent property, and the first thing they want to do is like redesign everything that it looks. So what you get is a Mario Brothers that looks like the Super Mario Brothers movie. Although a lot of people do like that. So there you go. Yeah,
cheap pop, Indiegogo comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back independent comics.
Respect these fandoms. Give the fans what they want. Because the thing is the fans are the ones that are asking for the movie. And stop trying to use one fan's property to advertise to this audience over here. Stop doing that. Just your audience, the people that bought all the comic books. Make the movie for them. Don't tell me they don't watch these movies. They do. Everybody watches these movies. Make the shit that's in the comics, and everybody will show up.
This is my problem with DC now. I actually like DC more than Marvel because
I think Harley Quinn's just a little. It's a sidestep. Wonder Woman's going to come in and just fix it.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna. And I think this was almost a Captain Marvel situation. And hear me out here. DC didn't have two huge movies. Oh wait, yeah, they did. You have Joker, okay? Your last release was Joker, which made $1 billion on a $55 million fucking budget and all practical effects, no bullshit CGI. Marvel, I want you to pay attention, Kevin Feige, you dipshit.
50 million you made that movie.
And then you're taking this garbage and you're shoving it in between Joker and Wonder Woman 1984. Now
didn't work. Didn't work this time, yeah.
And I've heard that people are like, oh, I've heard the plot leaks from Wonder Woman 84. It sounds bad. Watch the movie before you judge it. I'm going to say
the only thing I'm going to say with that is that may be true, but they also said the same thing about the last Wonder Woman movie. We know that movie turned out way better than we anticipated. Yeah. So and that could actually be a marketing scheme.
And I read every single fucking Reddit leak that came out. I read every single one.
I didn't. I don't want any spoilers. I'm going to see it regardless.
I did read them, but I'm still going to check it out.
I'm going to watch it opening day. I don't give a shit. It's Gal Gadot has conducted herself with class and dignity. Mm-hmm. She is a awesome, just human being in general. Not even just an actress. She's kick-ass in the role. Okay, and I heard people like comparing because I was watching some comments in a video about it was like the Amazon workout for like the extras in the Wonder Woman movie, and people like, well, why are they're all cut up and Gal Gadot isn't? I'm like, well, Gal Gadot was pregnant when she was filming that movie.
Yeah, people forget that.
Fucking pregnant. She couldn't go.
They hid that very well because that's one thing about if you guys are old enough to remember the X-Files, there was an entire season where Gillian Anderson was pregnant. And she looked very pregnant, and they filmed her from the neck up, and she always had like a coat on, but even in her face, she had gained a lot of weight. Whereas Gal Gadot, beautiful whether she's pregnant or not, so all I had to do was hide that little baby bump.
Yeah,
CG out the baby bump, no problem.
I don't think she gained
like 20 pounds when she was pregnant. I have the Blu-ray, and I think some of the behind-the-scenes stuff you can see she's got a little green screen on her bump.
Yeah, the greens they CG out the bump, and they did a hell of a job. Because she's very athletic in that movie. So
that's what you get when you have an actual soldier playing playing an action role. And contrary to what some YouTubers might tell you, she was a soldier. She was not just a.
She's almost like
she was a soldier.
She almost is to Wonder Woman what Christopher Reeve was to Superman, where the guy was a real life superhero.
Yep. She dresses up in
She kind of emulates a little bit of that too.
In her full get up, in her Diana get up, and she goes and visits kids with cancer in a fucking hospital. I mean, this is.
She never really brags about it. Usually, the hospital will end up like, "Oh, look, Gal Gadot came by."
She's not posting on Instagram, wearing $800 shoes with a $90 cocktail and an $800 bag, sitting there going, "Oh, look at me,
remembering Stan."
Yeah. With my $900 tracksuit, my flat pancake. I mean, anyway. But no, I mean that's you can't. This is why I'm willing to support this movie, is because and Patty Jenkins is the same. Everybody was, oh, you guys are, I guess I would be the Fandom Menace rep here, but you Fandom Menace guys are, misogynists and racist and all this shit. I'm
Nope.
like,
Nope. That's not true. Because the reason they always say, well, why do you like Wonder Woman and not Birds of Prey? Because in Birds of Prey, all of the male characters are
idiots,
are inferior people. Like they're either bad people, mean people, dumb people. They're all targets and they're all monsters. Whereas in Wonder Woman, this is a tribe that's self-sustained without men. But when the movie's not about the women on the island, it's about Diana. This is Diana's story. Diana chooses to work with the men to fight a common enemy. She doesn't, say I'm better than you. She works alongside of them. You know what I mean? It's not misandry is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, okay? She doesn't step on them to elevate herself. She works alongside of them.
That's why I don't like these kind of movies where, and my other problem with the movie is the movies like Birds of Prey, too many people get caught up in what they feel these movies represent for them rather than what's actually represented in the movie. Like they just know that they have to defend Birds of Prey, even though they may not have even seen it. They feel like they have to go see it, or maybe they need to go see it a second time. And anything that's coming out next to it must be inferior because I've decided to protect this property because it represents all of my fellow SJW people or Twitter people or whatever. It's this dumb. We're going to think back on the 20 teens. I almost did a video about this. The 20 teens and 2020s is going to be the time where we argued about dumb movies, not because of what was in them, but because of what people decided that they represented.
Yep. Well, just in case you didn't know, I'm an SJW now, apparently.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I said
I'm a man-child and a grifter. So
I was like, I don't know how I can be a skinhead, racist, and an SJW at the same time. I'm like, you guys got to make up your minds what you're going to call me here, because I can't.
Just trying to get their talking points. That's all it is.
I can't be both.
Oh, here, Alex, can we address this one right here? If you guys haven't seen my review yet, it's up on YouTube. There's 0% homophobia or racism in Sonic. I challenged the people watching my video. If that scene is in the movie, I want you to tell me in the comments exactly where it is, because we didn't see the same movie. So that shit is all 100% fabrication.
It was the least offensive movie I have seen in ages.
It's a kids movie. That's it.
I love you, Flare X.
It's a good one too. It's a good kids movie because it's one that's not talking down to kids either. It's treating kids like they have a brain.
Did you guys see the tweets that Jeff used them in his stream this morning? Every single one of them was worded exactly the same. But
I put that same group of tweets.
I posted.
Okay,
because
I put that in my video. Actually,
I gotta watch your video. Yeah, I do admit it because I was in bed.
It's a rubber stamp that somebody created that everybody decided to copy and paste. Could be bots. Could just be, hey, copy and paste this over here. And I don't know about you guys, but I got in some arguments today on Facebook. Well, they weren't really arguments. It's just I had somebody say that they're like, well, I'm taking my 10-year-old brother to go see Birds of Prey. It's going to be his first R-rated movie, and it's going to be special because I loved this movie, and he's going to love it. And that way I don't have to sit and watch a blue hedgehog, Jim Carrey chasing a blue hedgehog around for 2 hours. And I just couldn't help it. I had to respond. I'm like, yes, I agree. Having Margot Robbie snorting cocaine and beating up dudes that are twice her size is a much better time for a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, he'll absolutely, As a matter of fact, why don't you buy him an 8-ball before you take him to the fucking movie?
And also, I noticed too. I took a picture yesterday because I was under the impression, all the articles I read, that not only were they changing the name of the movie, but they were changing all of the marketing as well, like switching over the posters. Nope, they just changed the name. The old posters are still up in front of my theater. So if you want to further confuse your audience, have this Harley Quinn movie on this poster over here that says Birds of Prey and the blah, 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 like you don't know what the hell you're going to go see. Like Alex, you said it best, Alex. Go ahead. Tell them what you told me. They can't keep track of their own
They can't keep track of their own names. They don't.
The movie's so confused it can't even keep track of its own name.
Yeah. Is it Harley Quinn? Is it Birds of Prey? Is it Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey? Is it Harley Quinn Birds of Prey? Is it the fantabulous emancipation of Harley? Like, Jesus.
They should have just called it Harley Quinn, the motion picture.
It's pretty much what everyone's already calling it. It's Harley Quinn. It's just Harley Quinn.
It's just, you know, DC, man, when they fail, they just keep failing harder and harder and harder. It's like every time you've seen one of those Simpsons episodes, or no, not Simpsons, Family Guy, every time Pete goes, ow, ow, and then just drags it out for like 5 minutes. That's DC, man.
That was funny the very first time he did it.
No, it's not DC. It's Warner Brothers. It's like when they have a turkey, they just keep making it worse. It's like they just, at this point, you need to just write it off and let it play out the way it's going to go.
Let it go.
It's not going to get any. It's not going to get any better with J.J. Abrams there now. Now you're going to have mystery boxes.
Y'all know what's about to come back, right? Though a tradition of DC we ain't seen in quite a time. We're going to get the NC-17 rated version of Harley Quinn on Blu-ray. We bring it back that special edition. Remember when DC used to do that? Oh, here's the R-rated version of Batman, BVS. Here's the R-rated version of Suicide Squad. You didn't have to do that with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and it's like you're about to bring it back for Harley Quinn, I bet.
So are they gonna have those DP scenes with Harley Quinn on the bonus features?
I mean,
well, I don't know about the NC-17, but I know that I think it was Jeff from World Class Bullshitters had been saying in one of his live streams this week. I actually watched one of his live streams this week. He said, I'm calling it now. They're going to have a PG-13 release of this movie. I can see them doing that. It makes
because they're going to be pissed because the box office is so shitty.
They have to make, and that's the other thing. It's like right now is not really a big movie drawing type of year. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people live where it's still snowing, it's still shitty out. People are still broke from Christmas. There's not enough movies to get them to go out and see it in the box office. There's plenty of shit on Netflix to watch right now. They ain't going to the movies right now.
Yep,
I mean, going. Competition was Sonic the Hedgehog, and you lost. Sonic is not cool again because your movie was so terrible.
And they tried to bury Sonic, and it didn't work. They tried.
I don't know about you guys, but I am dying to know what Monday's box office totals are.
Oh, I was literally
because the last time I heard, I think Sonic made like $3 million on Monday or on Thursday, and I'm like, is that good or bad? Because it doesn't sound like it's that good.
$4 million because the budget's not that, at least not compared to like a normal DC or Marvel.
So they're already ahead. Okay, so it's not like Birds of Prey where they needed to make like $5 million the first
estimates night. From what I heard on Clownfish TV is like supposed to be between 45 million to 55 million. Maybe 65 on the 4-day weekend. It depends, but it's not going to be much. But it's enough to make a profit, kind of like Joker. How people say Joker's the most profitable movie ever, even though, it's not a big Marvel movie, but it didn't have to spend a lot of money. Really,
I want people to. And the other thing I think that might deter Sonic a little bit is there's a long line of movies based on video games that fucking suck. I mean, really suck. So
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We've had some good ones. It's kind of changing now. Like I said, Tomb Raider was good.
Detective Pikachu, you said was good.
Detective Pikachu was kicking.
I didn't see that one. Movie. That was before I started watching movies on a regular basis.
They're starting to get good again now. So it's not really it. Detective Pikachu was the one that I think that came out before Tomb Raider, right? Detective Pikachu had to kind of bite the bullet. Now you got Castlevania.
Castlevania's fucking season 3 comes out in less than a month.
Oh yeah, remember I told you it was coming out soon.
March 5th. I'm so excited, dude, because I just got done with season 2, and I was so happy because I watched season 1 like 2 years ago, and I never got to season 2, and I just watched it, and I was like, oh my god, that was awesome.
If you would have just had Birds of Prey go out, it would be like a DC Online exclusive. Like don't they have a DC app? Like
the DC streaming service.
DC. If you would have just launched that on the DC universe, we wouldn't be having these goddamn fights. Because right now, all these fights that are going on, this is flashbacks to Ghostbusters 2016 and all the bullshit we went through with Alita and Captain Marvel. It's that all over again. It's so tiresome.
I don't think it would have been that bad if Ewan McGregor just shut his mouth.
No, it wouldn't.
I feel like Ewan McGregor's.
And then when I pointed that little fact out, I got ratioed, hard ratioed, and then all those people disappeared right after the weekend. All of them. Nobody said a single thing after they knew the movie bombed.
God, it did it bomb. Like Sonic the Hedgehog beat you. Like, my God, man. Like, how embarrassed are you? Like, people, which, I'm gonna say
Beep boop beep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not me. He's beep
No,
booping.
he's beep booping.
And Leo Red, I just for those of you in the chat who are members of the Place to Be Reviews fan page, our private group, Leo Red just posted a picture of his grill. He posted a picture of his grill. I'm a believer, bro. Okay, you got me. He has a grill. All right. Yep. But no, man. No, I like Detective Pikachu. Me and the boy rented that not long ago. It was cool. It was a fun movie. Yeah, Castlevania's good. Now we're not, let's not talk about was it Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo?
Yeah, that's my memory of video game movies. So it's there's a long line of, for me, before Sonic is one of the better ones because they utilize all the things that are in the game.
Yeah.
That work for the plot. Like they make those things work for the plot to the point where it's not just making shit up or just putting it in there like, oh, well, that's in the video game, so we have to hurry up and squeeze that in there. Like, hey, references. It doesn't feel like that at all. Like I have some passing knowledge of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I didn't feel like I was just trying to pander. I mean, there's some reference. There's a little bit of member berries in there, but hopefully Alex has come back. I think we're going to have to probably bring this down though, because we're turning this into a pop culture show, and I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
it's not really my Friday thing. So
yeah,
but
save for Monday.
Maybe if somebody didn't make us watch.
I don't know. Manliness and motivation. Should we do an Uwe Boll?
No.
Yeah, let's not do that. Should we? I was thinking, should we do a Uwe Boll?
No.
Episodes where we talk about Uwe Boll, because the problem is there are no good Uwe Boll movies unless you count the first Blood Rain.
Yeah, if we do it, I'm fighting everyone for Blood Rain 1.
Yeah, well, we could do maybe just Blood Rain just as one episode. I could see that. Yeah, because that's got some bonuses in it. So, there's some nice looking bonuses too.
Why don't we? Why we could just talk about Uwe if you I don't know if anybody's gonna get this reference. It's another Uwe, but it's Uwe. We just watch Uwe Blob highlights. Uwe Blab, I don't know how to say his last name. He played professional basketball.
What is Blubber? What is it? Is it Blubber?
I'm sorry, I don't get that sports ball reference.
That's when I used to actually watch basketball. I don't watch basketball anymore. I played basketball last weekend for like 4 hours. I'm definitely white. I can still hit 3-pointers.
Anyway, I think we're through all the super chats. So unless you guys got any other questions, I think we're gonna bring this down to a close. This has been our Lesbian Vampire edition of Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. Probably not going to do another one of those for a long time. Yeah, see, he's got the cross.
I wear my cross. I wore the big bling tonight.
You're not wearing your onk.
No, I wore
your onk
the
that turns blue.
I wore the heavy one.
At least not as a theme. Let's not do it again as a theme.
No,
a one-off movie is fine.
A one-off movie. Also, how would you guys feel about us just covering one movie on an episode? Like would you like us to just do like one movie in depth and then just cover that? Or another thing that we were contemplating is we do a watch party and then immediately review the movie. It would make Friday nights a little bit longer, but it would also be easier on us because it would require a lot less outside research, because this week we all had a hard time watching 3 movies for some reason. It's like one day it was Monday and then suddenly it was Thursday. I don't know where the middle of the week went. It evaporated like overnight.
It went into the shit abyss.
Actually, it's weird. For once, I went through them quickly, even though it was the ones I hated.
I decided to sacrifice sleep last night and watch all 3 of these in a row. So it was,
I was in bed at 10 o'clock last night. I'm not going to lie.
Tonight I might not stay up as late because the long version is fine by me. What do you mean? So if we did a watch party for the movie and then reviewed it, how would you guys feel about that? That's what I want to know. Would you prefer that we did that? That way you guys could watch the movie with us and then we could all see if we all watch the same damn movie. Hell, I'll even let you guys vote on it too. The chat.
I say, why don't we make a poll?
Yeah, we could have a poll. Okay, so watch party and review. That would make things so much easier for us because we would just focus on one movie, do it on Friday. Possibly, I'm watching 2 and 3 live streams on Fridays. So, watch party and review. So, okay, you know what? I'll put most of you guys are in my Facebook group. I'll put a poll up there. If you're not in my Facebook group, I will put a poll on RaidersLostFlicks.com tonight. And you guys vote, and then we'll decide what we want to do for the format. Because what we run into sometimes is these movies are like, what do we talk about with this one? Because it's like, fuck, I mean, it's kind of hard to do because we're kind of new at this. Because we know you guys don't like it when we talk about new movies because a lot of them suck. I get that. That's why I just do that as my one-off content. But I know you guys are like into the bad movies like we are. So we all watch them together and then we review them. I'll put the poll up. You guys decide. And then that will be the format for the next week. And also next week we'll have Phoenix back with us too. So sound good?
Yeah.
Was there ever a movie about vampire strippers?
Yes.
Yes.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes. Well, there was a whole if you go on Tubi and Google lesbian vampires, there was a pile of them on there.
Well, from Dusk Till Dawn,
I just
decided
my dumbass decided I wanted to pick a Jean Rollin one, and for my sins, I got one. So whatever.
Yeah, if it had just been vampire, we could have worked that. Lesbian vampire, I'm gonna be honest, not the greatest trope out there. As much as people like lesbians, not the greatest trope. There's a reason.
Well, I was just thinking if I'm going to watch,
a man who likes his lesbians,
because a lot, I'm not as into the vampire genre as some people are. Because I know some people that's like all they're into. I'm not really one of those people. Nope. But I'm like, if I want to watch a vampire movie, I want to watch lesbian vampires. Yeah.
There's a reason why Camilla
sounded better on paper, didn't it?
Wait, what is this? What is this manliness and motivation said? Grace Jones is in a vampire movie?
Yes, Vamp with Grace Jones is a kick-ass movie.
I think Grace Jones she was one of the Bond girls.
Yeah, Vamp. She's not the main character in it, but yeah, Vamp is a fun movie. That's an '80s one. Yeah.
Even with her head shaved, Grace Jones was sexy.
So you like them Amazon women more than I do. I don't really. I'm not really as attracted to them as you are.
I'm
a little more old school.
I'm 6'3" and I'm 235 pounds. If a woman can pick me up, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna fucking complain. Charlotte Flair. Gail Godot couldn't lift my fat ass. maybe Beth Phoenix, but that's all right. I'll take her too.
That's something else I wanted to address too. When Gal Gadot is taking out like 200-pound males, it's because she's been fighting on an island her entire life since she was a little kid that they address in the movie. Well, you get to Birds of Prey, and Margot Robbie suddenly knows Kung Fu, though it's never told where she learned that shit.
This is that's the problem with it. Okay, like
you know what I mean? It's like you have to set these things up in your movie. You can't just say, "Well, she's good at all these things because whammon." No, you have to set that up. You have to address how this person got that. Doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. You don't inherit these powers.
I'm telling you, man. If they make this Spider-Woman movie, and like I said, and I said in my video, I'm not guaranteeing it's not going to be woke, but I'm saying with Alicia Vikander, you are getting a certified, bona fide action star playing the role. You are not going to need a butt double. You are not going to need a stunt double for this woman. She is a fucking badass. All right. So please take my fucking money. I mean, really. Now, the director, I'm not sure about because the director of this has worked on Walking Dead and there's a couple other Breaking Bad and a couple other shows. She's never done a movie, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. But all I'm saying is,
let's see how it plays out.
I really. Oh, Spider-Bait. What do we got here? Go on.
Something shiny.
Squirrel.
You had my interest. Now you have my attention.
Well, I guess I'm not going to bed early tonight.
This is my wine. Spider Babe right here. This is Spider Woman for me. I freaking love this movie. It's awful, but I like it.
The movie.
I like Misty Monday. I do.
Yeah.
She's kind of cute. These movies are very self-aware and they're kind of funny. They are.
No one.
They're on a budget of like about $350, but they know it is, and they make it work. So, and yeah, Misty Monday, Spider Babe. There you go. There's my MCU right there.
If only.
Yeah, they Keely Chow Max Guevara has superhuman strength because she's genetically enhanced. She's engineered to raise hell. That how many seasons did Dark Angel didn't run, but a couple seasons?
2.
That was a shame.
Yeah,
that was a shame.
That was a good show. Yeah, she was genetically engineered. She's basically Captain America.
Yeah, she had like that super soldier gimmick going on.
Yeah, you got superpowers, you don't have to explain it. But if you got superpowers, you ain't got to explain it. But if you don't, you have to. Look, I love Suicide Squad. I'm probably the one person left. But even I was kind of thrown off. Like, if in the movie they say the whole point of Suicide Squad is we're gonna get people to fight Superman in case Superman ever turns evil. What the hell is this psychiatrist with the mallet gonna do against Superman?
I'm gonna need Flare X to get the hell out of my head because
my problem with those movies too, Alex, is like they constantly have to remind you that they're the bad guys, but you never actually see them ever do anything really that bad, ever. Period. They don't. Harley Quinn is the most non-bad villain I've ever seen in 2
Harley
movies
Quinn,
now.
They do.
I like Dollhouse.
She did kill a child. I hated Dollhouse.
I do.
I hated Dollhouse.
Anything with Eliza Dushku, take my money. I'm in love with her. I couldn't believe she was married to Rick Fox. I was like, what? But then I realized Rick Fox is like an NBA player who's soap opera handsome, and he's actually in movies and shit. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, she likes black guys. I got a chance. I got a chance, man.
He divorced her because she was a jealous ass bitch. He kicked her to the curb because she came on set to a couple shows he was on, and Rick Fox is actually a really good fucking actor.
He is.
He's a good actor, man. Because a lot of times them athletes, it doesn't really transition into the acting. And Rick Fox was good. He always had that, like, you knew this guy was not going to be in the NBA forever and he was going to do something else because he's a handsome dude. He really is. He's like got that leading man look. And yep, he Eliza Dushku and him were together. And I can't remember what show it was on, but she got so fucking jealous and ended up, he just said, nope, I'm done, and kicked her to the fucking curb because she was insane. I'm like, if you don't want to, don't waste that time. If anybody remembers that song, that's a deep cut right there.
Because she really had
Pete's like, sloppy seconds, I'll take them.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Eliza Dushku has never really gotten past Buffy and Bring It On as far as like
it's like the bad girl and Bring It On.
Yeah. That's really bad. Hey, look, I like, what was it? She did that show True Calling. I like True Calling.
I forgot about that one. That was a good show.
Matter of fact, wasn't Zach Galifianakis on that show?
I
think he was. Let me look that up. I think
are you okay? Are you looking at him?
He was her sidekick. I think he was like the her doctor person. Let me look this up because now I want to know.
I watched Dollhouse.
Yeah, Zach Galifianakis. He was her sidekick, the ME person.
Yep.
God, I missed that show.
Pre Hangover days for Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. Hangover didn't happen yet.
Yeah. He hadn't let the dogs out yet.
He was still doing snowed. Was it snowed out or snow day or whatever?
Oh, are you talking? Yeah, the skiing movie.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
He fucks the little. He fucks the water. He fucks the little hot tub.
Mm-hmm. I remember that movie. That's the one where they're spinning around in the fucking car with the snowplow on it when he's passed out.
God, those were the days.
Yep, and Adam switched his picture to Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, I ain't mad at that.
Nope.
She wins every time with everything.
There you go. Here you go, boys. Here.
Oh, Pete.
There you go, my fucking chubby British cat chick on here.
I'm still watching her show, her Netflix show. What is it? I forgot what it's called. Beyond. I keep forgetting the name of the title.
We still need to do a watch party for cats.
I'm down. I want to fucking watch that. As bad as it is,
I'm almost going to rent that just to see how bad the fuck it is.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna need an adult. I need you guys to watch that with me. I don't think I can watch that.
I'm gonna rent the Blu-ray, and I am going to. I now, and this is gonna be. I switched to an all edible intake system here for my for my
They all edible underwear.
No, no. I switched to an all edibles for my THC needs now. No more smoking intake. So yeah, I'll need to have an extra edible or two for that one, because I've heard it's not optimal unless you're a bit twisted up. So I'm sorry, Adam.
Anyways, I think that's about all we got for tonight. We're just kind of bullshitting right now. So I'm gonna bring this to a close. I want to wish all you guys a very happy Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for spending this with me, Pete, Alex. Glad you were here with me, and I'm sorry for putting you through such a miserable assortment of movies this week.
You lucky. We love you, man.
I feel personally responsible. I feel like I owe you. So Pete, you pick a movie for next week. Alex, I already know what movie you want to do, so we'll do that one next week. And then I'm gonna let what's his name pick the third one. So Phoenix, yeah, Phoenix will pick the third movie, and we'll just do that. They don't necessarily have to have a theme this time. I think I'm focusing on the theme too much, and just making us have bad movies. So if the vote goes well and this turns into a Friday night watch party, I'm cool with that, because that means we have to do no more preparation. We just watch a movie and review it. And as long as you guys are down with that, I'm down with it too. So, but I still want to put the poll up to make it official, to make sure people that don't watch these streams are down for that as well. So anyways, this has been Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. Thank you for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. Alex, you want to say anything before we leave?
Pete. Pete, I'm just gonna say, bottom of my heart, Ingrid Pitt could peg you just as well as a Ruby Rose.
Bitch, are you for real?
I don't know, man. I'd rather have Ruby do it, honestly. That Australian accent, I don't even know.
That's a fake accent.
Fuck if I know.
To be fair, I'm fucking drunk.
We're all drunk right now.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Nobody trusts anybody now. We're all very tired.
I can't figure out where my
that picture.
All right, guys. So Pete, what do you got going on, man? Plug stuff, say stuff.
Plug stuff. That's what people usually do to me. Anyway, tomorrow I got another video coming out, single release. I'm gonna go back to ranting about things that I hate, because people don't watch things that I like. So I'm gonna rant about Captain Marvel 2 again tomorrow. You guys stay tuned for that. Monday night.
Talk to the.
Monday night is episode number 89 of the Place to Be Reviews podcast. We'll be back there, the usual suspects. And Wednesday, stay tuned, because there's a little something different coming up on the channel. But you're still going to get a single release video every day, and not Uno but Dos podcast next week. So stay tuned.
Gay!
I've been called worse today. I'd rather be called gay than an SJW. You guys have yourselves a beautiful Valentine's Day. I'm going to go back and drink some more Franzi out of the box. And I love you guys.
Bye.
Well. Bye.